Strawn will go in the ruck. Round 14 in Bendigo footy. The Bloods and the Tigers, 4th v 5th. It's underway on Bendigo's Fresh FM.
Absolutely, plenty at stake. Strawn first hands on the footy, got it down to a teammate who was locked up in a tackle, and the umpire comes in and will ball it up again. Still, dead set in the middle of the Tiger showgrounds. Up they go, Strawn, hands on it, got it to a teammate, can't get it out. That was Brereton. He's tackled to the ground and will do it again. Can't get, never mind the win, can't get out of centre circle.
Interesting to see Geordie Mangan, who spent most of his year down back, playing centre-half forward for the Tigers.
Third consecutive toss-up. Both the ruckmen missed it. Strawn tried to do his own roving, couldn't get a boot to it. They go to ground again. Govan on the bottom of it for the Tigers. And fourth ball up. I'm over this. It's moved about 5 metres South's way. You have a crack at this.
Paul Hutchison has another go. Harris first hands to it. Strawn over the top. Tackle into the cricket pitch.
This is 5.
And
5 ball ups.
Let's do it all again. Still in the centre of the ground as Michael Clancy picks himself up off the deck. Paul Hutchison's going to have a very sore arm, I would imagine. Harris now knocks it clear. Diving in on top of the football for the Tigers was Clark.
6.
The ball has moved 7 metres on that occasion, and again we're going to have a stoppage. Wallace.
Interesting, South are not putting a player behind the ball at this point against the wind.
Yep, and they're just going, electing to run with it at this stage. Again, the ball goes up. This time there's a kick out of the pack. It goes straight back into congestion between the centre circles. It's eventually worked 3 by Rogerson. Chain of handballs ends with Sheehan, and the Bloods have got some space across half back. It's worked to Strawn, to Bartels. Great tackle from Harris. Dispossessed Strawn. Tigers free kick, and Big Darcy Harris will take it across half forward.
So a chance now for some constructive footy. Harris has got it for the Tigers.
Actually, it's not Harris at all.
Isn't it? He told me it was Harris.
He laid the tackle, but he's not allowed to take the kick.
Good on you. From 70 metres. 70 metres. It's, well, I reckon it was a shot into the goal square. Nobody could take the mark. Chance for the Tigers. Players got it. Can't break a tackle. He took him on. He's got to be collared. Umpire let him go. Kick around the body. Might be okay. It is. First score of the afternoon. Goal to the Tigers. And I reckon they might have been a little bit fortunate there, because the first Tiger player that took it was clearly Grant. But however,
Billy Marnie.
1 straight. The Tigers, Bloods yet to score. 2.5 gone. First term, thanks to Aussie disposals.
The player that delivered the ball was Nicholas Brazil. Now, in the warm-ups, you mentioned 70 metres. He wasn't far off. He was a bit further out than he was kicking then, but he really did deliver the ball long, so the opportunity presented itself.
So Marnie with the first for the Tigers. Free kick coming out of the middle to Blair Whelan of South Bendigo, who's going to have to come back around his mark from the centre circles. In fact, it's not going to go to Whelan, so having some luck with the free kicks early. It's going to Tom Brereton. So from the centre circles, Brereton, he's not going to catch it in the breeze there. He kicked it and scrubbed it along the ground straight to Harrison Huntley, who thumps it back the other way. Over the back was Waitman, 40 out from goal for the Tigers. Couldn't take it. Wright picks it up, shovels the kick away. Waitman picked it up inside 50, takes them on, tackled by Nolder. That time it's holding the ball against Ben Waitman. There was no arguing on that occasion. And Daniel Nolder takes the free kick in defence for the Bloods, and straight away we're seeing the benefits of that breeze, Jock.
He's gone to the other side. Is that the defensive side? Wanted Strawn, couldn't find a big fella. He's knocked back inside forward, 50 for the Tigers. Plenty in defence though for the Bloods. Taken by Whelan, got out a long hand pass. Found a teammate, fumbled the footy. So the Bloods, they've got it back at half back, out of side. Kick down towards the wing, mark taken. Yes, it is Whelan. He's paid the mark, so Whelan's got it for the Bloods. Played on, got rid of it. Short little kick. Tigers get it back and go back long. Inside forward 50. Chance down there for Waitman. Threw it on the boot. Across the goal. Bouncing ball. Bloods might have the numbers. Scollard gets there to make a contest. And the umpire has given South the free kick. They'll get out of trouble. Short kick's okay.
Do you like the Wright-Waitman matchup?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. That was the matchup they've gone for. I think Adrian Code played on him the first time they played. Is now free kick going to Kieran Strawn across half back. He's certainly got the strength, and you mentioned a bit earlier off air, Wallace, you have to be wary and smart to play on Ben Waitman, and that's what Brad Wright is. Strawn's kick goes straight into the man on the mark, Davey, who picks it up and screws it back inside the forward 50. Around the body, though, the check side kick is marked by Nolder, 20 metres out from his defensive goal. He now switches the play to Howe, who collects inside his defensive 50, turns back to come toward the corridor. Kick wasn't great, made Miller work, got down low, shoveled it out towards Govan in the centre of the ground where the Tigers captain takes it away. And now he's got a free kick for some high contact, and they go back inside the 50.
Kick to kick to kick, inside forward 50, Scollard over the back, couldn't take it. Strawn throws it on the boot, goes wide, bounces outside defensive 50, over the line and out of bounds for a throw-in.
And it's Nolder picking up Scollard, so they've kicked 116 goals between them, Waitman and Scollard this season.
Scollard playing really deep too. They've gone really big up forward, Kyneton.
Can we drive the truck around the other side of the ground? Is there going to be any play on this side this afternoon? Throwing. Just on forward 50 for the Tigers. Davey, hand pass, inboard. Found a teammate who was tackled. Support though. The Tigers move it inside forward 50. Marking contest. No one could take it. Sheen's got the clearing kick for the Bloods. Goes wide out of side. Too wide, over and out on the full. Tigers free kick.
If you're defending
65 from goal.
Jock, that's where South will go in this quarter.
I guess.
Side.
Yep. It's not just all about me.
They bring it back in now, the Tigers. Long kick towards full forward. Scollard came out and met it. Left foot snap around the corner. A bouncing ball to the goal line. Rogerson's happy to see it across for one behind. First minor score of the game goes the way of the Tigers. 1-1-7 plays South yet to score. 6.5 played in the first term, thanks to Kangaroo Flat Storage on Bendigo's Fresh FM.
Tigers are just bombing long inside forward 50. Now, Bloods would be happy with that. It's crowded and it's difficult and there's not much structure being used yet. Kick out short, it's okay, and it's not Buddy Franklin, it's Liam Bartels.
They've had numbers over the back too, every time, South.
So Bartels has got it in the back pocket for the Bloods. Puts it up high, Strawn the target, brought to ground level, Crummers needed, taken by Connaughton, he's tackled. And past there, he took him on, caught with it. Govan's got the free kick. 65 out for the Tigers. Hand pass wide, went to Megan, who's gone inside forward 50, missed the target. Bloods get it back. Miller's got it. Isaiah goes wide to the outer side. Can he find a teammate? He can. Chance for the Bloods to go towards half forward. Whelan inside, takes it. He gets some support. Running past, getting the hand pass. Jake Connaughton, wobbly kick in the end, put himself under the pump. The Bloods have got it inside forward 50, but there's plenty of Tiger defenders. They'll run it with a bounce back to half forward. Long kick to half forward for the Tigers. Kick to kick, poor, and it was taken away by Bartels, and the Bloods get it back.
He goes steaming through the middle of the ground and then tumbles one inside the forward 50. Johnston has the sit out the back, but he's got two to beat. Gets down low, runs over the top of the football, 45 metres out from his defensive goal. It's picked up by Josh Govan. Kicks outside the defensive 50. Howe gets there first, draws Hocking in support. At right half or left half forward, he comes back towards the corridor through the hands of Bartels. Blair Whelan jumps on top of it, and he is jumped on top of, and now there's a little bit of a scrap there between Govan and Connaughton off the footy. Eventually, they are brought together. Umpire says, give it to me, and a ball up.
Bad disposal by Huntley. You don't see him do that a lot a few moments ago for the Tigers out of defence.
65 metres out from the South Bendigo goal. Strawn up. Bartels takes it away. Couldn't get an effective disposal, and now the Tigers come away through Megan, who sharked the handball, came back towards the corridor for Clark, who works his way through the contest. Handball to Govan. Low ball towards half forward for Mangan. Picked it up beautifully to Safstrom on the left boot towards half forward. Floats over the head of Marnie, but Waitman did well. 52 metres out from goal, back on the right, centres it up, lovely kick, and Scollard's on the end of it, 30 out, directly in front. That was a really good entry from the Tigers.
It was, and Jock, a stat for you, I know you love them, Jock. If he kicks this between them, Waitman, Scollard involved in the play, I'll bring up their 117th goal between them this season.
Not a bad effort at all.
Good effort, good effort.
Very,
and the best
handy.
and first structured incursion into 50 by the Tigers.
That's a low kick from Scollard, but it finds its marker, and he is on the board for the Tigers. They've got the first two of the ball game, 2-1-13. 9 minutes played. South Bendigo are yet to score. That's all in the first term, thanks to Kangaroo Flat Storage on Bendigo's Fresh FM.
Pretty much what you would expect. One side struggling with possession from kicking against the wind. It is a very strong wind, as we mentioned, so disposal is not as good, ball drop's not as good. And then the other side at the moment, they were bombing, Jock, but last couple of minutes Tigers started to look up and hit up some targets as well.
Lower your eyes.
They look better.
Lower your eyes, boys.
Even that kick by Scollard, he kept it low. He didn't try to kick it high into the wind or overkick the footy.
Back in the centre, ball up, chance for the Tigers, taken out. Mangan got it, but the Bloods will get it towards half forward. There's a chance. Oh, took him on. Was that Hocking?
Yep.
And he was just tackled at the last minute, spilled out of his hands over the line and out of bounds for a throw-in. He must have run 40 metres.
Yep.
Just all got a bit fast for him at the end.
Good athlete, young Mitch Hocking. Just Safstrom's pretty quick too.
So throw-in, just outside forward, 50 for the Bloods.
Wing carried the football.
I know, blew it almost back to the centre of the ground. Tigers with the overlap, got a chance through the middle. Be taken down there by Finton Brazil. He's got it back when he followed up. Then he ran into a whole heap of trouble. They might have turned it over. Whistle on play. Bloods are going to get the free kick. They did. Over. Finessing the Tigers.
There's a throw in there. Umpire spotted it.
Yep. And the Bloods have got the free kick. Centre of the ground will be taken for them by Nick Howe.
So he kicks inside the forward 50. 3-on-1 against Johnstone in defence for the Tigers. It's worked out through Hinneberg to McCarthy, who kicks a low ball down the outer side wing where Davey and Code battle, and Adrian Code was adjudged to have held on to Dan Davey. So Dan Davey takes the free kick at left half back for the Tigers, thumps it towards half forward. Waitman, that's a terrific grab. Goes up in front of right and is able to pluck it out of midair, 70 metres out from goal. Scollard's one out in the square. That's the direction he goes. It floats over his head. It was a long ball, travelled all of 65 metres away to the right.
Distance on that kick.
And only one behind. 2-2 the Tigers. Yet to score the Bloods. 11.5 gone first term, thanks to Kangaroo Flat Storage.
But is that good? Big kick with the breeze, kicked at 70, get another point. Got to have better structure going inside forward.
Wasn't 50. Too bad. Scollard was in the goal square, just carried him, Jock. It didn't drop as it normally would.
So, big pack of players, and the umpire's going to ball it up right on forward 50 for the Tigers. They've got, a 5-goal breeze at their back, the Tigers, in this first quarter. Was one down by Strawn, got it towards Bartell. It's good boy, picked it up, then was tackled, lost it, wants some support, thrown out in the direction of Devaney. He's got it back to Bartels. He's been in everything so far, on the left foot, towards the centre wing. Chance for the Bloods. Oh, they've turned it over. Went over in the direction of Brazil. He'll go back inside forward 50.
Free kick, I reckon.
Downfield.
Is it downfield?
Went towards Scollard. They stopped.
Brazil just got upended as he kicked it.
Importantly, though, Jock, if you're a Tiger fan, your two key forwards at the moment, Waitman and Scollard, having a big impact.
Yeah, in everything. This time it's going to Scollard, and he will shoot for goal from about 45 metres out, almost directly in front.
Two Brazil boys having some words to Aaron Connaughton.
Are they? Really?
They look like...
they love it, those two.
Yeah, they're little
they're troublemakers.
Chirpy customers, aren't they? Agitators.
Yeah, they love it.
Tipping Scollard will get the distance.
You'd think so.
Without any problems. Can he steer it straight? He's already got one, goes low, kicks a point.
Just got there.
He's determined to go low.
No one's standing on the goal line, so there you go.
That was an ordinary effort for a point. 2-3. The Tigers, Bloods yet to score. And the Tigers have got it back, just outside forward 50. This time to the hot spot, over the back, in the goal square. Oh, couldn't throw it on the boot. It was Brazil. Kicked off the ground. They got a second opportunity and they've put it through.
Scollard?
Yes.
Gee. Scollard has 2. And Brazil tried to kick it off the ground.
Well, you think
missed.
With a name like that, he might have some soccer skills, but not on that occasion. He completely missed it. Fresh there. Scollard said thank you.
3-3 the Tigers. Bloods yet to score. 13.5 gone first term. Thanks to Kangaroo Flat Storage.
Just a bit of a worry with South Defence, though, Joel, with the amount of ball that Scollard and also Waitman are getting at the moment.
Yes.
They're getting a lot of opportunity, it has to be said.
Yep. But they're persisting with the matchups, and big forward line for the Tigers at the moment. And they've got plenty of options down there and putting them to good effect. Mangan goes into the ruck for the Tigers. It was Strawn down to Connaughton, who came out of the stoppage beautifully, kicked to left half forward. It had a bit too much carry on it for either Miller or Newell, and it's over the line in front of the South Bendigo interchange, and it'll be thrown back into play.
Well, after that start to the game, there's 5 or 6 bounces to get the game going underway, throw-ups. South are effective in these centre breaks. They're winning about 3-1.
Strawn down decisively now to Rogerson. This time they go inside forward 50 with a little bit more purpose. It was a lovely kick. It floated into the breeze nicely, and it's marked by Brock Harvey, who's got it 40 metres out directly in front. And I'd say he's got the leg from here. He might even just have the wind just died down a little bit in the last couple of seconds?
Maybe. I think he really needs to aim it to the left-hand point post.
And should just bring it across nicely. So Harvey's kicked plenty of goals this season. He's emerged as a forward target for them, South Bendigo, and that is why he puts it straight through the middle. And the Bloods get on the board. They are one straight. Kyneton are 3-3, 15 points the margin, 15 minutes gone. First term, thanks to Aussie Disposals. Bendigo's Fresh FM from the Kyneton Showgrounds.
Good mark, good goal.
Thanks, Keith.
Remember Keith Govan? I was just channeling him for a moment. He was a legend down here at Kyneton. We used to love his work.
Yeah.
But that's what he would have said about that, because it was a good mark and it was a good goal.
He doesn't do it anymore, Keith.
No, unfortunately he's not with us now, Jock, but he was a big part of the broadcast for a long time.
Oh, yeah, and a very, very...
That's exactly what he would have said, that.
Very much a character. Big goal, that for the Bloods. Bounce to the ball, Tigers take out, hacked out of the air inside forward 50. That kick out of the air went 50 metres.
It's amazing. It looks like, you know when you go to the beach, a really windy day, and you take the beach ball and it just goes on you?
Never take a beach ball to the beach on a windy day.
Neither do I, actually. I don't think I'd go to the beach on a windy day.
No, you just get sand continually blowing up in your face.
Poor analogy.
Said that. Throw in just inside forward, 50 for the Tigers, plenty around the contest. Connaughton works hard, can't get it. Govan tried also for the Tigers, lost it. Taken away for the Bloods, kicked wide, out towards half-back. Harvey a chance, kicked the last goal. Now he's got plenty of company. Umpires picked out a free kick though, and the Bloods will get it. Harvey takes it, goes laterally with a little kick. Might give a teammate an opportunity to run onto it. He does. Then he's tackled, goes to ground. The ball's on the wing on the outer side, and the umpire's given a free kick to the Tigers. Been plenty of free kicks for caught with the ball so far.
Yep, good physical stuff. Both sides not afraid to take it on though, which is what you'd expect from them.
So the Tigers from the wing on the outside, just a ball kick that one, 55 up to Strawn, got the first grab, then got a push, and a good defensive mark by the big fella just inside defensive 50. Great to see him putting on the red and white jumper this afternoon and playing for his beloved South, because he's such a big part of their side.
So here is Strawn, kicks out wide, good mark over the top. No, Jake Miller wasn't paid. Ball came to ground eventually. Howe tracked it towards the boundary line, getting there, might have been Leroy Miller in fact, who kicked it up, and it is marked by the Tigers in defence. Bryce Hinneberg, who one day last year when we were here was the hero, thumped back towards half forward for the Tigers, again from Huntley, but Strawn took the intercept mark, and now the South can come off half back through Rogerson, who tried to measure the kick from Newell, and even into the breeze it had too much carry on it for him. Came back the other way off the boot of Clancy, who hacked it off the deck. Rogerson lost the run at it, then Chambers went in, Hindle went in. They all crash in big pack forms, and Paul Hutchison calls for a ball up just on the forward point of the centre square in front of the grandstand. Kyneton 3-3, South 1 straight, 17 gone in the opening term on Bendigo's Fresh FM.
Yep, ball up, half forward for the Tigers, up they go. Probably a dead heat in the ruck, but they get the takeouts, worked away for them down there by Brazil towards full forward. Umpire has...
Yeah, free kick to Waitman.
Got push while he's in the air.
So Waitman, player on the mark's probably 45 out.
He's amazing how he gets hands to those ones though. Full speed, and he just jumps and he's able to get both hands. Oh.
So see if he tries to do the Schollard job and keep it low. Waitman from 48 metres. No. Didn't make the distance, went into the goal square, thumped away by the Bloods defence, and they'll get out of trouble. Taking it out for them is Hindle.
They need to get the message out that they still do need a kick through the footy. Waitman will get another chance here. He probably could go into journey for about 65 at left half forward. I fancy that he won't. Chips it up towards half forward and finds Nick Brazil, who can certainly go the journey from here. This is right in his wheelhouse. Wallace from 55 metres out, up against the boundary at left half forward.
I'm tipping he won't go low.
I reckon he'll just load up.
He'll just go back.
He'll have to kick at every part of 60. He's just teed it up to the top of the square. Wants a flyer. Mangan's up. Couldn't take it. Hocking's there for the Bloods. Feigned the handball and got around Schollard nicely. Sold him into trouble. Kicked outside the defensive 50. Looking for Miller, but cutting it off for the Tigers was Taylor Kelly.
They've got numbers over there, Tigers. They're reading South coming out of defence very easily. I think they need to switch it, the Bloods. Find a different exit strategy.
South have got no one from the centre back.
So this is another shot at goal from 55. high across the front. Up they go. No one will take the mark. Waitman's got the crumb. Got some space round the body. And I reckon Benny Waitman has kicked a goal.
He's kicked a goal and he's lost his boot.
It
came flying off as he kicked it.
Yes.
The boot went out of bounds on the full and the goal went straight through the middle.
Well, that's why he's such a dangerous character. He just pushed off them, found that step of space and kicked around the body, and it's put it through for number 4 for the Tigers.
Got his boot back on, Jock.
Got his boot back.
Yep.
Been re-shod. 4-3-27 the Tigers. 1 straight goal the Bloods. 20 gone first term thanks to Aussie disposals.
Not a bad player for a player that can't play, according to the coach. He said he was a very average forward.
I think there might have been a story in that, wasn't it?
Yeah. So, Luke might think it was a pretty good goal for an average player.
Yeah.
Considering where he kicked that.
I'd say he might be of that opinion, certainly. Back in the middle from the restart, Strawn wins it down. Bartels goes chasing after the football, comes out to Hamish Govan, though, who handballs back to Hinneberg, who thumps it inside the forward 50 for the Tigers. Sheehan gives chase and can pick it up at half-back. The ball just rolls away from him, though, and allows the Tigers back in. Chambers now. Here's Nick Brazil. He eyes the sticks. He loads up and he hits the right-hand post. It was bending and working its way back. It was a lovely strike, but it was just a bit too narrow. 4-4-28 Kyneton, 1 straight 6 south, 21 gone on the time on clock thanks to Titakar in the opening term at the showgrounds.
It was a goal all the way off the boot, that kick, except for the last half metre. So the kick out, Bloods, they bring it out towards the grandstand side, and the big fellow Strawn has taken a very strong contested mark. From defensive 50, Strawn comes down the wing. Better from the Bloods. Can they make something out of coming out of defence this side of the ground? Perhaps they can't. Turned over. Taken for the Tigers by Hinneberg. Drives them back inside forward 50. On a lead down there with Schollard. Couldn't take the mark. Ball goes to ground. Umpire ball it up 40 metres out from the Tigers' goal. 21 gone first term. Tigers 4-4. Bloods 1 straight. I'm not sure still, though. The Bloods, they haven't done a bad job.
Yeah, it's probably just...
It's a good... At least 5 goal breeze.
Sheer volume of entries, really, isn't it, as the ball's out of bounds?
The big blow of 2017, we're calling today, Joel, but you won't know until half-time, really, where this game sits.
Yes. Yeah, very true. So right forward pocket at the city end. It'll be thrown back into play. It's the end that the Tigers kick to in this opening term, and they have the advantage of a very strong breeze. Nolder goes through the pack. Kick clears defensive lines for South. It came from Miller and ends up with Jake Connaughton, who's got it just inside the defensive 50, chips short and dangerously, but it finds its mark in Aaron Connaughton. So the Bloods co-captain's got the football. He wants to go short to Sheehan, barely the 15, and it was called a mark, and now Sheehan comes outside the defensive 50 and gives it to Howe. So they've chipped it across the defensive arc. Howe now needs to play on. He tries to get around his man. Now handballs dangerously. Was looking for Sheehan. Goes back and gets his own footy. And now it might be turned over inside forward 50 for the Tigers. Big pack around the footy. Tried to squirt out to Govan. Waitman goes through. Good tackle from Nick Howe. Eventually the ball is locked up, but it's only 35 out from the Tigers' goal. They're pressing for another.
So the umpire will ball it up deep inside the Tigers' scoring zone. They've got the aid of a very strong breeze in this first term. Up they go. Dead heat in the ruck. Little toe poke towards 20 out from the Tigers' goal. Hand pass wide. Came from Connaughton. Bloods a chance. Goes wide. Sheen Marks still inside defence. 50 out of side and can get them out of trouble. He goes down the line to a contest. Govan over the top, gets it to ground level from the Tigers, back inside forward 50, kick across the body, goes across the face of goal, bouncing ball over the line and out of bounds for a throw-in. Opposite forward pocket came from Brazil.
Fresh live update at Gardner Reserve. It's Gisborne who are ahead of Golden Square. 4 goals, 2-26 to 3-4-22. The Dreamweaver has 2 for the Bulldogs.
Throw in forward pocket for the Tigers as we count down towards quarter time here at the showgrounds. Bloods a chance, worked out to Strawn, throws it on the boot, clearing, floating kick towards half back. Up they go. Nobody can take the mark, and the umpire comes in and will ball it up.
Strawn's been the dominant ruckman. He's marked, he's got back, he's taken 4 or 5 marks. He's also winning in the air.
Yep, and there's another one. Gets it wide. Chance down there for the Bloods to get out of trouble through Jake Miller. Then he ran into a whole heap of
he's
trouble.
Not a well boy.
Chance for the Tigers. They work it up towards half forward. Hamish Govan had it, but he was pushed over the line out of bounds. It'll be thrown back into play.
He's in trouble with his ankle.
Came from a long way back to get to that ruck contest and then got taken out in mid-air and landed awkwardly. So he's coming off the ground, gets a shove from Megan on the way off, which is that's just poor.
Yeah.
And so Strawn will come off the ground with the ankle injury. So we'll monitor that. We're right behind the South Bendigo dugout, so we'll be able to probably see everything that's happening. From the free kick out of that contest, Bartels was held off the footy, and now it's with Rogerson. The kick's down the line. Bartels will come back in here and take the mark. He was pressured by Harris and stood up strongly, and Bartels 65 metres out from goal at left half forward, gets a lead from Johnston. He just chips it short. They keep it in here, South Bendigo, and they can do something with this. Torpy centres it up inside the 50. Connaughton tried to get there, but getting back was Hinneberg. Handball off to Hamish Govan, and he goes galloping through the centre of the showgrounds. Kicks to left half forward. Schollard comes flying in. Can't take the mark. At ground level, he battles with Nolder. Nolder did well. Held him up. Schollard draws support, though, at half forward, and they might be able to work out of it, the Tigers. Eventually, O'Sullivan was there. He got a handball towards the boundary line, and it's picked up by Schollard. High ball, 4-on-1 for South Bendigo. Mangan crashed the pack 35 out. Waitman from the boundary, one way, the other. Ducks and weaves, centres it up. Nearly got it there to Clark, who came flying in. Eventually, the Tigers, though, are going to turn the footy over. It was a free kick for kicking in danger going against Finton Brazil. So a reprieve for South Bendigo on the last line of defence, and Mitch Rogerson will take it and he'll clear it to Bartels.
Oh, took it a bit easy, dropped the mark, went back and got it, hand pass to a teammate, missed the target and put it out on the bounce.
Hasn't done a lot wrong this quarter though, Bartels.
No, he's had a good quarter.
Yep. It's frenetic stuff, isn't it? They're still trying to play quick both sides, but the skill level from neither is just not there.
Well, tough conditions. Yeah. Throw in right on forward 50 for the Tigers. Plenty of numbers from both sides around the footy. Chance for Kyneton to get it out. This time through Clancy. Kick across the body. In towards the pocket. Up they go. No one could take the mark. Good work, Tigers. Worked out in the direction of Brazil. That's Nicholas. Throws it on the boot.
Wow, they hit the top of the tree.
It's just about put it into Piper Street. It's over and out on a full penalty free kick. We'll go to the Bloods in the last line of defence.
To borrow a phrase from our good mate Jackson Saunders, that was audacious from Brazil.
Audacious.
Even though it carried 40 metres, still hit the top of the tree, Joel.
It was a
Miller
massive
from the back pocket for the Bloods. Clears defensive 50. Good kick to a contest at ground level. Who's got the numbers? Cousin Kevin's got it. They've got him, and he's dragged to the ground, Kevin Clark, and the umpire will ball it up.
Joel, the problem with Strawn with an ankle, sometimes the colder it gets, the worse it'll get. So they'll be working on just see how bad it is at the moment.
Keeping him warm.
Johnny Klein will be doing his finest work inside forward 50. The Tigers, Brazil, that was Nick Brazil, kicks to the top of the square. Well, Wright did well. Schollard came out and crunched him. Hindle through hands. Eventually the Bloods will work it out. Whelan pops it over the top to Howe, who can run off half back, elects not to take a bounce and just dribbles one down the outer side wing. It's picked up by Taylor Kelly. Handball to Mahoney. He tried to pop it towards Mangan inside forward 50 by the handball. Cut off by Sheehan inside the defensive 50 for the Bloods. Now Connaughton and Whelan combine. Comes into the centre of the corridor. Well done to Miller. Now to Rogerson, who works his way around Huntley, and then he just dribbles one up towards half forward. They can hardly lay boot on ball at this stage, South Bendigo. And siren sounds as they continue to move it towards half forward. So Connaughton, Blair Whelan, Kieran Strawn, Liam Bartels and Mitch Rogerson all impressive in the opening term. Tigers by 22, Bloods with the breeze in the second. It's underway on Bendigo's Fresh FM. Here's Jock Clark.
Let's see how it unfolds. The Bloods got the tap through Big Strawn. Good to see he's back on the ground. They've done a miracle job on the ankle, no doubt. Tigers, though, they work at the half forward. A kick, well, went straight up in the air. Comes down, bounces off a Tiger player's head, still across half forward for the Tigers, and the umpire comes in. Too much traffic, he's going to ball it up.
Straight away, they've thrown Adrian Code forward. South Bendigo playing in the goal square at the moment.
Good move, thinking outside the square. From the ball up, stump back towards half forward, out of side. Bloods half of the ground. Going in on hands and knees was Megan for the Tigers. Couldn't get it out. It's just outside forward, 50 for the Bloods. The Tiger defence, though, stand firm. Kick back to Megan, who was outpointed on that occasion. Wants a little bit of support. Might get it over there through Kelly. But it's the Bloods who get it and go back inside forward, 50.
That's
good.
A terrific
mark in defence. Taken down there. Was that Clancy?
Kevin Clark.
Kevin Clark. He's been prominent so far. Cousin Kevin.
The man of rubber.
He goes to half-back out of side. Kick not so good out on a full. Bloods will get it back. They kick inside forward, 50. There's a lead. No one can take the grab. 50 metres out from the Bloods goal. They've got the breeze in this second term. Tiger defence stand up though. Hamish Govan takes it, goes to the wing out of side, and it's kick to kick at the moment as the Bloods get it back.
And Johnston's only just got back up to his feet from that earlier collision. Gee, good kick from Rogerson. Code dropped what he should have taken, went back down to ground level and shoveled it out. Did he get a bit of high contact? Kick. I think he did.
Yeah.
So Adrian Code will take the kick.
Well, it was a big lead. He's been really live. He's led about 5 times, even though the ball hadn't got to him.
Handball off, goes to Miller. Miller's got a thumping right boot. He absolutely drills it to Bartels in the right forward pocket.
Point.
No, in fact, was it a point? I reckon he might have given away a free kick.
Yeah.
He
Free
gave
kick.
hands in the back. So
no, it was a point.
A lovely kick, and now they have signalled a point. And now the ball is going to have to come back to the goal square. So Kelly is going to... No, in fact, it's coming back to Govan. So that's all very confusing. The upshot of it is that South Bendigo have opened the scoring in the second term with a point there, 1-1, Kyneton 4-4, 2.5 gone.
I thought if there's a point you can play on straight away from the kick out.
Yeah, so you have to... The man on the mark has to be in the correct spot. So the man on the mark was on the mark for the free kick there, not the kick out.
Don't confuse me with rules. The less I know, the better I am. From the kick out that wobbles up almost to the centre of the ground. They go in and do some work on hands and knees. Waitman well up the ground. Got it over to a teammate down there. It was Nicholas Brazil. He's gone towards
50.
half forward. And it is a Tiger.
Yeah, so Megan went to go,
free kick.
but wasn't called play on.
That's
and
right.
Brereton cribbed the mark and a little bit unlucky.
It was tight, but it did happen.
It's not a huge 50.
Short 50.
Dale Caldwell.
So, bit of a bonus.
50.
Yeah. Megan's got it for the Tigers.
It's a Kyneton 50.
45 metres directly in front into the breeze. Let's see what sort of leg he has got on him. Reece Megan, very talented footballer. Kicks to the left, comes back to the right. Beautifully done. And a goal to the Tigers against the breeze.
I reckon Luke Beattie, that's how he'd instruct young James to kick, wouldn't he? Kick like that.
Kick like that. So the Tigers go to 5-4-34. The Bloods 1-1-7. 3.5 gone. Second term. Thanks to Kangaroo Flat Storage.
Yeah, it was a good goal, but just as clever with the free kick too. He knew the umpire was right onto it and let the umpire... He's the one that indicated straight away to the umpire it should have been 50. The umpire agreed. So he got 2 ticks there.
It's good when it works like that, when you ask the umpire for a free kick and he gives you
What's
one.
that?
Absolutely.
Coffee for you.
Strawn back in the middle, stands his ground, just flicks it back over his head.
Yeah, I just ducked out the back and made it.
I won't have it.
Free kick coming to the Bloods. Connaughton's got it in the centre of the ground. So from the centre circles, he kicks to half forward, and a good lead from Whelan, who found some space, 60 metres out from goal. He's going to load up on the right boot. That's a long kick as well, right to the line. He got a boot on him, and it's a goal. He got hands to it, ball went to ground. His second effort was right on point, and he was able to slam it through off the deck and get their second. 2-1-13 South Bendigo, and they find the quick answer. The Tigers are 5-4-34, 5 gone second term, thanks to Aussie Disposals on Bendigo's Fresh FM.
Difference being that time, it wasn't kicked to a big pack, Joel. It was just at the back, and it was a clever little kick off the ground to put it through. When you get that kind of distance, it does put pressure on defence though, because it lands in the goal square and you need to be right on the game to clear it. That time South took advantage. Good goal in this term. Tigers started this quarter with a goal.
And out of the centre again. Good work through Big Strawn. He gets it inside forward. 50 for the Bloods. Bartels after it. Gets some support. Worked over to Leroy Miller, who's kicked another one.
That was brilliant from Bartels.
Back to back.
Miller has kicked one for the Bloods and 2 within a minute. So they are absolutely making the most of their opportunity with the breeze so far. They go to 3-1-19, trailing the Tigers 5-4-34. 5.5 gone. Oh, he's pinched the Kit Kat. There's 3 Mars bars and 1 Kit Kat. He's taking the Kit Kat. How rude.
That's big news, Jock. I'll get back to the game. South Bendigo important to get that second goal back-to-back in this quarter. Just gives them, that confidence that they've got the win they're going to take advantage of. They're doing very well with these centre breaks, South Bendigo, in this game.
Doing really well, contested situations.
Really
and it was brilliant from Bartels, and Strawn's down again on that ankle, so keep a watching brief on that. Inside forward 50, now come the Tigers. Waitman dispossessed by Wright, who went flying through the pack. Ball comes out now for the Tigers. Clancy fires away and misses the lot. Just never quite got on balance as he went to kick there, Clancy. And
Strawn might have to come off again soon.
Was always running awkwardly away from goal, so the penalty free kick's taken by Nolder on the last line. Chips inside to Sheehan, and he'll come to the back pocket for Miller for the Bloods.
South will have a decision withdrawn soon whether they're going to make it worse or not to get him off if he keeps playing in this game.
So the kick short is okay for
That's
Miller.
An important player.
Bloods went back to Nolder, who goes across the ground. So they're still only about 10 out from the goal they're defending the Bloods.
He's coming off.
Now they go wide over towards Aaron Connaughton. He gets it on the bounce, turns, goes to half-back, good kick, finds a teammate. Bloods, switch play, back to Miller. Now Miller's got a little bit of space, although they close him down. He runs on, crosses defensive 50. Miller steadies, then goes long towards half-forward. Marking contest, ball carried over the back, and it'll be a Tigers free kick. The player down there just got a little nudge to the umpire. Patrick McCarthy will take it at half-back.
Drawn off. I'm not sure we'll see much more of him today.
So he comes short, McCarthy to Davey, who runs the centre wing, kicks up towards Waitman at half-forward, used the spring, trying to tap it over the back, but Wright did well. Little kick around the corner was clever to Torpy. Oh, it was an awkward ball across half-back. It floated over the head of Marnie, was picked up by Mangan, and he handballs to O'Sullivan, who gets back on the right boot and finds Chambers, who's 48 metres out, wants to go to the pocket, doesn't find Scollard. Chest mark from Mitch Scollard, 25 metres out, tight angle to the right.
Good play, Chambers. Summed it up. Wanted
Kept
someone.
His head.
Yeah. Mature decision by a mature player. Dare I say that? Mature player, Darren Chambers.
Yep. Experienced.
Difficult kick from here.
It is a difficult kick. The wind will bring it back towards the right-hand side, so Scollard will have to do a little bit with this. He's kicked 2 so far. He comes in, and it was always away to the right, and only 1 behind. 5-5-35 Kyneton, 3-1-19 South Bendigo, 8.5 gone. Second term, round 14 of Bendigo football from the Kyneton Showgrounds, all thanks to Choices Flooring, Bendigo Bulk Carpets.
You were watching Wallace. Did Big Strawny go into the rooms? Has he gone into the rooms or onto the bench?
He's down here at the bench.
On the bench, fair enough. So the Bloods deep in defence.
Surrounded by trainers, Drop.
Surrounded by trainers. They go wide.
Like a Melbourne Cup winning
The mark
jockey.
is taken by Mitch Hocking.
He's in trouble.
So Hocking in the back pocket for South. Tight contest. Bloods have got a strong wind at their back at the moment. Now they long kick down the wing, out of side at ground level. Chance for the Tigers. They win it back. High inside forward, 50 over the top. Attempted mark to Nicholas Brazil. The umpires picked out free kick, or did he play the mark? Picked out a free kick. Hand pass back to Brazil. Goes across the ground. Misses the target. Chance for the Bloods. It's in dispute. 45 out from the Tigers' goal. Bloods' little kick. Should be okay. It's not. Carried over the top. Taken by Chambers. Chambers sweeping hand pass. Wanted a teammate out there in Hindenburg. He couldn't take it. Goes to ground. 35 out from the Tigers' goal. Bloods' defence under the pump. They get it wide. Might be a chance now to get out of trouble through Hocking. He goes down the wing. Can't find a teammate. Good bounce though, worked well, taken by Leroy Miller. He gets it off to a teammate down there in Rogerson, goes wide to the wing, out of side. Good switch, Bloods. They've got an opportunity now to go deep into attack.
Brock Harvey's got it on the outer side. He comes into the centre. Lovely kick for Jake Miller. Spots him up at true centre half forward. Miller goes on the right boot inside the 50, and Torpy's got it. 47 metres out, had a short on leading for him, didn't go to it. Torpy will go back, and pretty good kick of the football, Braden Torpy, but we'll need to hit it well from here.
Turned his back, went back, showed every indication that he was going to
Interesting
have a kick a goal.
Code off. He's been on the bench for a while. He started at full forward, and I'm not sure why they would bring him off. Johnson's gone back to full forward.
So here's Braden Torpey on a 45-degree angle to the right. On the left boot, it starts a long way left. They'll fly in the goal square. Miller's up. It's thumped back towards the top of the goal square. Brazil had a nervous moment. He let Brereton in for a second. 20 out from the Bloods' goal. Brereton's brought to ground, can't take possession, and will have a ball up deep inside attacking 50 for the Bloods.
So the umpire
thinks going to ball it up
to
the rooms.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yep.
There's a heap of players around. It's only 30 out from the Bloods' goal. Goes to ground, and the umpire will... No, he's picked out a free kick. Megan's got it for the Tigers. Goes across the ground. That's all right. They've got a little bit of space to work with. Kick. Oh, bit dodgy. Brazil takes it, though. Now he plays on. Switches across the ground and finds a teammate. And a mark is taken by Kelly. Kelly down the wing to the big redhead. Taken by Hourigan. Is that Hourigan?
Yep.
I thought it might be. You said look for the bloke with the red hair. He got red hair, all right. So Hourigan on the wing. Grandstand side for the Tigers. Puts it up into the air. Goes to the forward 50 marking contest. Oh, Waitman wasn't happy with that. He's had a few words to Hourigan. And it is a south mark and a 50.
Yep, because Nick Brazil came across the mark, and so he's having a chat to the umpire as well. He's having a chat to a few people, isn't he?
Both Brazil brothers playing good games, though. Right, clever there, playing Waitman from behind.
Yep.
Waitman getting a little bit upset.
And 50 again. So Nick Brazil has given away a 100-metre penalty. Incredulous.
And comes off the ground.
Oh, as he should.
Absolutely. That is a dragging offence if ever there was one. A coach killer.
And he just ran off himself. Aaron Connaughton probably said, nice work. Something to the words of that effect.
I'd say so. He might have repaid the favour from earlier. And Brad Wright, who's been somewhat of a goal kicker in recent weeks for South Bendigo, will get a chance. 30 metres out directly in front. He started in the back pocket.
Yes.
Luke Beattie didn't want to sow Brazil's
Wright finishes it off. And that is definitely what you call making them pay. A 100-metre penalty leads to the goal for South Bendigo, and it's a 10-point ball game. South with their fourth, they're 4-1, Kyneton 5-5, 12.5 gone in the second term, thanks to Aussie Disposals on Bendigo's Fresh FM.
Kicked the last three, South Bendigo. I wouldn't have thought Ben Waitman's opponent many times this season, after a free kick against him or in that region, had kicked a goal.
No.
Tell you what, when Hourigan had that ball on the wing and he's kicked it high to Waitman, though, Waitman's given Hourigan a spray. Oof, interesting. There. So the Bloods get another one.
Presence felt.
Yep, 10-point ball game. Bloods 4-1-25. Tigers are 5-5-35.
The previous goal kicker now stands in the back pocket.
Temperamental. What are you saying? Ball up, centre of the ground. Chance for the Bloods again. Sweeping hand pass. They've got the numbers. Take it. Kicked it straight into a Tigers player. Came off his head. Rebound. Went down there towards Jake Connaughton, who had an airy. He was caught, tackled. Tried to hand pass it out, had an airy, and the free kick will go to the Tigers. Max O'Sullivan, centre of the ground. Goes inside forward 50. In front, Scollard. Good mark. Read it well, Scollard. And he's got it 45 out directly in front. And Mitch Scollard is going to go back and have a shot. I reckon he fancies his chances from there. Into the breeze. In my playing days, I wouldn't have got that to the bloke on the mark.
He's going to have to kick it more than about a couple of metres off the ground, I'd say, this time.
So Scollard, he ran around the player on a mark. He's put himself in trouble. Kick across the body and through for a minor score.
Benny Hill music, Joel.
Yeah,
Scollard.
Not a lot of signs.
Like Benny Hill running around the park.
Wasn't the most agile move of all time, was it?
At the end of the show.
Ordinary. Kick out. Push. Play on the call, close to the line. Bloods players got it grabbed high, and they'll take the free kick. South Bendigo at half back.
Big high tackle from Big Das Harris, so 5-6 after that minor score, the Tigers. It was an interesting one from Scollard. He can do many things, but maybe playing on against the man on the mark isn't one of them.
Dancing with the Stars is not one of them, Joel.
The margin is 11 points. Here's Johnston at at centre wing.
Caught.
He was taken, and well done by his opposite, number 17 in Huntley, who is Wallace. So good. They named a suburb after him.
Yeah, you got to do all your own work. No one's helping you.
Not getting any help from there, so Huntley's got it.
Ordinary audience.
Centre wing, kicks to half forward.
Good
big pack, or Miller over the back.
Gee.
Another one he wasn't paid. Now it comes out the back to Sheehan, who's hemmed in on the boundary line. and is able to see it over at left half forward. 52 metres out from Kyneton's goal. They lead by 11 points, 15.5 gone second term.
So the ball will be brought back. And
the sun's come back out, Josh.
Sun has come back out. That nasty cloud's disappeared. That dropped the temperature about 19 degrees. Tigers get it. Chambers with the footy. Kicks it up in the air. Almost blew back over his head. Won't affect his hairstyle too much. Blood's taken it half back. They go to half forward. Marking contest. Can't be taken. Leroy Miller recovers. Kicks inside forward 50. Bouncing ball is through. Good goal. Don't eat and Kit Kat at the same time. Health authorities say that, Joel. So, was that Miller?
Yep.
As he went to ground, he got it on the boot and it's gone 65 metres.
The Bloods grab, wasn't it?
Get another one. That's Miller's second. So the margin back to just 5 points. 5-6-36 the Tigers. 5-1-31 the Bloods. 16.5 gone second term. Thanks to Choices Flooring. Bendigo bulk carpets.
Long kick, bounced through with the wind. Kyneton kicked the first goal of this term. South have answered with 4 unanswered goals.
Yes, they've really got a run on moving the ball with a lot more freedom at the moment, the Bloods, and putting the breeze to good effect. So Miller goes into the ruck for South Bendigo. That's Jake Miller. Bartels had it at ground level. He was thrown into the turf and will have a ball up. Still in the centre of the Kyneton Showgrounds. Sun shining, very windy, wintry afternoon down here at Kyneton though. No chance of rain, but certainly the conditions affecting play. As Paul Hutchison again crosses the arms, nothing comes of the restart. And we will have yet another ball up. Still in the centre of the Showgrounds. Harris this time goes up in the ruck against Miller. Wins it down. Handball over the head of Hamish Govan. Comes out towards Bartels, who tries to thump the ball free. He ends up tackling Hourigan, brings him to ground, and just forward of centre for the Tigers. We'll have a third ball up.
Are you comfortable to keep going to get down the centre?
No, I reckon you can have a crack.
Ball up, centre of the ground. Oh, big thump working through down there for the Tigers was Harris. Got it towards forward 50. Bloods with numbers in defence, but there's a whistle on play and a throw. Tigers free kick to be taken by Brazil. Nicholas. And goes short. That's okay. He's found a teammate. Max O'Sullivan's taken the mark. 45 out. Little bit of an angle. And Max O'Sullivan has gone right back.
Coming off the long run.
Goal yet. I don't think he's going to do a Scollard and try and run around the player on the mark. O'Sullivan. Not a bad looking kick off the boot. Did it just fade or did it hold its line? Held its line. Tigers get one against the breeze.
And well a good one too, Jock, because there's some distance in that kick.
Maxie O'Sullivan, well, he's a class act, Maxie O'Sullivan. So the Tigers get one back, dare we say, almost a ship steadier. They go to 6-6-42. The Bloods 5-1-31. 18.5 gone second term. Thanks to Kangaroo Flat
South
Storage.
can only manage one goal against the wind, and we've played 18 in this term, and Kyneton have got 2 against the wind.
Well, you need all the ship steadiers you can get in the wind.
Yep,
and,
absolutely.
They were able to get that, Kyneton, and one against the breeze and against the flow, as you say, Wallace. This time the Bloods come out of the centre, up toward half forward. Harvey attacks it, can't take it with him. G. McCarthy went in, had to shovel it out, did so to Clark through the traffic. Handball to Hamish Govan, who collects on the half volley, comes back to McCarthy, who kicks wide, and it's a good kick and finds Brazil. So it's Finton Brazil in the long sleeves. He's got the footy at half back, chips it short to Clancy. Centre wing outer side of the ground here at the Showgrounds as he ticked towards time on. Clancy now is called to go, gets on the right boot, drives a long ball toward half forward. Bartels over the back, can't mark. Harris stayed down, tried to paddle it to his own advantage. Kelly goes in, that's Darcy Kelly. Eventually got a handball away, it tumbles inside the defensive 50 for the Bloods. Sheehan gives to Nolder, to Connaughton along the boundary line. He gets out of trouble with a nice kick and finds Hocking at half back.
Here come the Blood through the centre of the ground. They've got a little bit of support. Whelan takes it.
Oh.
Dishes out a hand pass to Bartels. He ran into trouble. Has to get rid of it. Ball in dispute. Centre of the ground. Govan gets it out. Here come the Tigers. They've got an opportunity now from right on forward 50. Davies kick. High. Scollard the target. Knocked away. Nolder in defence. Good work. Pushes it through. and it is a minor score to the Bloods when they were under the pump a little bit.
Benny Waitman not happy with the delivery coming in again, Jock. He was saying something to his players upfield.
To a teammate? Yeah, funny thing about that.
Wright's really tightened up on him in this turn.
I don't like to see that, I've got to admit. That's a part of the full forward school that we don't like. So it's 6-7 Tigers, 5-1 Bloods. Bloods work it to the wing, grandstand side. Player run into a wall of trouble. Got it out though, Bloods still with the football. Torpy's got it, kicks it high to half forward. Ball bounced strange. Code got out a teammate. Found Leroy Miller who goes for home. And, well...
Let's say it was a little bit worse than his last
year. Leroy would have missed the barn on that occasion if he'd kicked from inside it. Over the line, out of bounds, on the full, penalty free kick Tigers. Last line of defence, McCarthy to take it.
He's missed by the almost the width of the goal face.
That
just
really
about there, Leroy.
Wasn't his best kick, was
it? After he thumped one from 65 earlier, this time he couldn't find the opening. Or Hourigan has kicked a reverse goal.
It's a goal.
So Hourigan has come back and tried to switch the play and has kicked an own goal.
Wrong end of the ground.
He had the free kick in the back pocket. He's gone back.
And the kick in has gone straight down the throat of Code.
Tigers are having a meltdown.
Conceded an own goal, and now Adrian Code's got the footy 40 metres out on a 45-degree angle to the left, and this would really inflict some pain on the Tigers after they were able to steady the ship a couple of moments ago.
Known for his goal-kicking exploits, Joel?
From around this range, he's pretty good, Jock. He sends it on its way. It's across the face. Bartels thumps it through, only one behind. 5-3-33 South Bendigo, 6-7-43 Kyneton, 10 points the margin, 22 gone in the third quarter. It's on the time on clock thanks to Tintercar.
Closing on the long break, Tigers with a couple of bounces, get it out of the danger zone. Right on defensive 50, out of side, short kick's okay. Possession footy, into the breeze, that's probably the plan. Popped up again, it might have been a chance for a turnover. Thumped away over the line and out of bounds. It'll be thrown back into play.
In the defence of Miller before too, on windy days the ball drop is important and affects a lot of kicks on a day like today. We had 5 goals kicked in the first term, 6 in the second.
Look at the throwing.
So far.
Blew 10 metres. Favoured the Tigers. They win it. Kick towards the centre of the ground's okay. And Scollard, well up, has taken the mark on defensive side of the centre. Mitch Scollard goes wide to Chambers, didn't get to him, attempted mark not paid, went back to Scollard, followed up, kicked it wide, got an opportunity on the outer side through Clancy, who picks it up, goes towards half forward for the Tigers, player took it, then lost it in a tackle, kick off the ground, inboard, 40 out from Kyneton's goal, they've got some numbers, Chambers after it, goes in on hands and knees, locks it up, umpire's going to ball it up, 48 out from Kyneton's goal. So desperate last few minutes. Absolutely, the Bloods would not want to concede one more before the break.
It's an important goal either way, isn't it? 23.5 gone in this second term. 10-point margin. Tigers in attack. Good tackle laid in the contest. Firing in there is Jake Miller. Puts his head over it, as does Josh Governor, you'd expect. And another ball up, still inside defensive 50 for the Bloods.
Problem being for South, as we approach half-time, is that they've had to win and they're 10 points behind.
Yep, they had a little bit of ground to make up, and Kyneton have been able to nab a couple against the breeze in this term. Chased towards the boundary line now, kept in by Whelan for South Bendigo. Tumbles it outside the defensive 50. A bouncing ball's collected at half-back by Miller, who did well to get it to Rogerson by releases Howe on the outer side wing. Nick Howe can go for a gallop now. Reverses his field. Pops the handball over to Hocking, who's got pace in spades. Goes inside the 50. Lovely kick to Johnston. Johnston's got it 45 out. Tight angle left of centre.
Play of the day so far.
Yeah, Howe played to his strength. Likes to run with the football. Gained some meatage for his team. It was a good build-up.
Johnston's just about got one leg either side of the fence as he starts his approach from underneath the light tower.
It's a long kick, Joe.
He is. Take a very good kick from here. Others have missed easier ones, as we've seen in recent times. Johnston comes in from right on the 50, puts it into the breeze. It works across the face. Torpy's there. It didn't go across the goal line between the goal and point posts. Only about 3 metres out from the goal line. It's locked up and will have a ball up. And I dare say, Jock, this may get worked through for a rush behind.
Well, you would think so, because the Tigers wouldn't want to give another one away before the long break either. They would consider they've done a fair effort against the breeze. Ball up, and gee, it's worked through for a minor score. So it is a 9-point ball game. 6-7-43 the Tigers, 5-4-34 the Bloods. Almost half time.
So work it back in. Here's Govan. That's Josh Govan. Not too much of Reece Megan in this game. He's normally prolific, but been well held in the early stages. Josh Govan's got it, and it slows down in front of him. So he's forced to kick long and wide. It's a good kick in the end. It held up beautifully in the breeze for McCarthy, who sat under it and gobbled it up with two hands above his head. So McCarthy comes back inboard for Mahoney, who's got it between wing and half back on the outer side of the ground. 26 gone in the second term on the time on clock thanks to Tindakar. Kyneton by 9 points. Now Mangan's got it on centre wing on the outer side. Tigers moving the ball patiently and just trying to take some of the pace out of the game and a little bit more of a concerted build-up. Mahoney got the handball receive. His kick down the line was poor. Miller intercepted for the Bloods. His handball went into trouble, made Sheehan do some work. He had to turn tackler, lock the football up, and between wing and half forward on the outer side of the ground for Kyneton, we will have a ball up.
So it is across half forward for the Tigers. Up they go. Megan a chance there, but went to ground. South player took it, was tackled. Can't get rid of it. The umpire's pinged him. It is. Yep. Chambers the free kick for the Tigers. Waste no time. Got up, dished out a hand pass. High kick towards the front of the goal square. Danger here for the Bloods. Nolder takes it. Just got away with a hand pass. Can he find a teammate? Yes, he can. Rogerson got it on the boot. High towards half back. Oh, chest mark, drop, tough in the breeze, pushed over the line and out of bounds to be thrown back into play just outside forward 50 for the Tigers. Bit tough there for young Torpy.
Yep.
Swirled around in a breeze and he's getting told a little bit by Hamish Govan.
Ball thrown back in, right in front of our broadcast position. 27 gone, second term, 9-point lead to Kyneton. Connaughton goes over the football. Gets a handball away to Howe, who's thumped by Kelly as he got rid of the football. Eventually it trickles up towards half forward. They fire in with the numbers there, South Bendigo. They won't be able to get it out. Harvey was in there, tackled by Govan, and a ball up between the centre and centre half forward. Howe still just taking some time to get to his feet. It was a big hit by Kelly. It was good physical play, the both of them. Sastrom from the contest for the Tigers. Gets it out to O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan inside 50. Scollard will chase it towards the scoreboard and Nolder will chase in. Scollard paddles it. Nolder corrals him and takes the footy off him and scoops it up in the one hand. Well done, Daniel Nolder. And thumps it outside the defensive 50 to a running Blair Whelan.
Stopped. Went backwards. Waited for a teammate. Waited for the cavalry. Now the Bloods still get it back. They go towards half forward. Mark Spilt's tough out there for the players. Worked over the top though. Bloods still a chance. Leroy Miller goes to the front of the goal square. Great mark in defence. Tigers taken by Jordan Mangan. Oh, the big fella stood his ground. It was one place probably the Bloods didn't want to kick it. Kicked across the ground. No, it was just marked. South players thought it might have been out on a full, so the Tigers hurriedly clear towards half-back. Up they go. Contest. No one could take it effectively at ground level. Worked out by Devaney, Nathan Devaney. And umpire's going to ball it up. Bottom of the pack, Devaney tried to get it out, couldn't. Tiger players jumped on top of him. So ball up. Kick it a bit from goal for the Bloods. Have they got time for one more before the half-time siren? Tigers player took it. Fed out a hand pass. Chance for Megan. Got it to O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan at half-back. Won't matter. There's the bell. Interesting. It is a 9-point difference at half-time. The home side in front. Kyneton 6-7-43. South Bendigo 5-4-34.
The wind's certainly affecting conditions here at the showgrounds at half-time in round 14 of Bendigo football. But Wallace, it's been a fairly free-flowing and a reasonably free-scoring game.
I mean, this wind would be affecting most of Victoria today, so we're not the only ground that's affected by this strong wind. Interesting, the first term, even though the team's kicking with the wind, Kyneton kicked 4 goals in the first term, the South Bendigo's 1. South Bendigo kicked 4 unanswered. Kyneton got 2 in that term. So because it's not going to be a high-scoring game because of the wind factor, so they've both kicked around 5 goals to 4 goals with the wind. But at half-time, South Bendigo did have it, but they'll come back in trailing now, 43 the 34. So at stages there, the Bloods look like they've got a run on. They kicked 4 unanswered goals after they've been bringing the food to us.
Can we come in next week?
Yeah, I think so.
Let's see how we go. Second half is underway. It is the Tigers by 9 points who lead as we go into it on Bendigo's Fresh FM.
I reckon that wind's dropped a fraction too, just quietly. The Tigers have got it in the third term. They go straight towards forward 50, marking contest. No one could take it. Bloods out of defence. Well, good kick. Miller goes wide towards the outer side. And who's that? Torpy's taking it, Mark?
Yep. And haven't as yet had really any of the mids get involved, so it would be a focus point for them. Maybe here as they break from this contest, get hands to it. Good tackle from Safstrom on the defensive edge of the centre square, though. Then Huntley was legged, so the Tigers will get a free kick. South player saw might be Brereton on the outer side there, so Huntley almost kicked it straight into his head as he got back up as well, but eventually the mark was taken by Josh Govan, who's just defensive side of centre wing on the outer side of the ground. He kicks toward half forward. Waitman almost trapped it, beat right, and then went back and got the footy. Little handball around the corner, look for O'Sullivan. Sheehan knocked it away from him, found the safety of the boundary line, and 55 out from the Tigers' goal at left half forward. We'll have a ball in.
Boys, we thought it was a good, strong 5-goal breeze, but I reckon it's dropped.
Yeah, feels like it has. Certainly the flag behind the goals over there doesn't look to be quite as sideways.
No, and all the leaves that were tumbling along the ground, they're stationary. From the throw-in, it's worked by the Bloods towards the wing outer side. There's a free kick and it's going to the Tigers. So the Tigers will take the free kick. Who's got it? I can't even find the football. Yes, I can.
Clancy.
It's all right. Clancy of the overflow. Now he's got it. Runs wide and kicks long inside forward 50. Up they go. Code. Good mark in defence. Judged it well, the big fella. So he's back. He's been both ends of the ground so far, Code. Now he runs on. Swings wide to the outer side. Bloods with a couple out there. Might be left to Jake Miller to run onto. It is. Goes towards half forward. Poor kick. Put down on a full. Penalty free kick. Tigers get it back. It's too hard to win it without giving it away that easy.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the Tigers have got it on the wing, outer side of the ground, and they'll go forward again early in the third term. 43 plays 35. Tigers in front.
Govan thumps it inside the forward 50. Waitman brought it to ground. Wright went through, tackled, got the handball away to Connaughton to Bartels, who steams through the back edge of the centre square. Handball to a running Brereton, who has to collect on the cricket pitch, then got back around on the right boot, kicks to half forward. Good kick finds Harvey. 60 metres out from goal. Low inside the forward 50. Cut off by Henneberg. Well done, Bryce Hinneberg. Floated back with the fly, and now the Tigers will go straight back the other way on the counter-attack. And punch they do in transition. Lovely kick, Brazil to Waitman. Yes. Waitman's got it 45 out, slight angle.
I thought for a moment, Brazil, he'll go for goal here. Just clever kick out in front of Waitman.
He was behind the centre circle, so would have been doing well to go for goal. It was a lovely kick, though. And Waitman has got it. He'll have to kick it every bit of right on the 50. And maybe not quite the breeze at his back that he had in the first half. So Waitman comes in from 49 metres out. It's a lovely kick. It was never in doubt in the boot of Ben Waitman. Delivers for the Tigers the first goal of this third term. 7-7-49 Kyneton to 5-5-35. That'll make Wallace Teasdale very happy at the 4.5 minute mark of the third term, thanks to Aussie Disposals on Bendigo's Fresh FM.
Just a magnificent scoreboard. When you see 7-7 and 5-5, Jock, look at that. Yep. How do teams do that?
Agree with you.
What a kick! What a kick by Brazil, though. Laces out. Waitman he was just back and he could run onto it and take the mark. Good kick.
Second goal
for
Waitman.
Goal.
Takes him to 74 on the season, Benny Waitman.
Ball up, centre of the ground. Good tap out, Tigers. Chambers took it, fed out a hand pass, missed the target. Ball still in dispute, almost centre of the ground. Tiger player took it, Hindenburg kicked it into a wall of players. Ricochets, goes wide towards the wing outer side. Blood's now an opportunity to take a possession. It's popped up high, 2-on-1 contest. Leroy Miller couldn't take it, he's got the free kick.
Pushing it back.
So Miller's got it for the Bloods, outer side. Wireless breezes down a little bit. Miller pumps it inside forward 50 to a contest. Thumped away from Johnston. 25 out from the Bloods goal. They got to do with the next. Tiger defence stands up though. Hindenburg takes it from the back pocket. Sweeping left foot kicks a beauty to Chambers at halfback. Oh, played on. Just got the kick away. Went to Megan. He's got it on the wing out of sight. Swings inboard. Gives it over there to Nicholas Brazil. He's got it. Back into the centre of the ground. The Tigers go through Huntley. Huntley goes long. Up towards half forward. On the long lead is Davey. Can't trap it, can he? Over the line he can't. And it's to be thrown back into play just outside Kyneton's forward 50-metre arc.
We might say that Chambers was caught there, Jock. Caught. Chambers. Chambers. Caught.
Not bad.
Caught Chambers.
Not bad. Not bad. 6 gone, third term. The finest work of Wallace Teasdale on Bendigo's Fresh FM. 14-point margin the way of the Tigers. Free kick in defence. It'll come to Brereton for the Bloods.
Law court.
Yes. Not court as in street.
That's not.
Or as in cricket.
It's not funny.
So Brereton's got an inside defensive 50.
Leave the funny business to the funny people.
It's one of those agree to disagree moments, isn't it? His kick outside Brereton only found Huntley, who couldn't track it down. He paddled it towards the boundary line and couldn't quite run onto it. It'll be thrown back into play on centre wing on the grandstand side. 7 gone, third term. Here at the Kyneton Showgrounds, round 14 of Bendigo footy. The Bloods are 4th, the Tigers 5th. And a win would see Kyneton move ahead of South Bendigo on the pecking order of Bendigo football. Connaughton goes through the contest, picked up by Marnie and then lost it, and then Connaughton tackled him. Ball spills free now. Going in there, Rogerson driven into the turf. Bartel kept his feet well. Now he's tackled. Davey rips it off him, holding the ball. Free kick advantage to the Tigers. Davey from 52 metres out, eyes the sticks and drills it. That is a very good goal from Dan Davey. A little bit happening off the ball too. Not a surprise to see the Brazil boys involved. Meanwhile, it's a goal to Kyneton and they extend the lead to 20 points. 8-7-55 the Tigers, 5-5-35 the Bloods. 7.5 gone third term thanks to Aussie Disposals on Bendigo's Fresh FM.
So Kyneton have kicked the last 2 goals. Well, the first 2 goals of this term, I should say. And you're right, that was a magnificent kick from there. But talk as you will about the Brazil brothers and Nicholas. They're involved in a lot of play today. They're the major set-up players at the moment.
Absolute live wires. Back in the centre, ball up. Tigers go again. Brazil long. Inside forward, 50. Scollard at the back. Just couldn't get the second grab. Ball spills over the line out of bounds for a throw-in. So the Tigers deep in the forward pocket. Don't forget, boys, the Tigers have got the use of the breeze in this third quarter. South will come home with it.
Do you reckon if one of the Brazil boys won our best on-ground meal voucher thanks to the McIver, would they take the other one? Do you reckon?
Yeah, certainly.
Not sure.
No hypothesising, Jock?
No, I'm not working with it at all today. Throw in. Forward pocket for the Tigers. Pack developed. Neither's the umpires. Not much happening. Whistle on play and the umpire's going to ball it up. 25 out from the Tigers goal. Big Davey goes up. Thumped it away. Couldn't put a teammate on the end of it. Goes after it himself. Close to the boundary line. It's kept in. There's a kick back towards the front of the goal square. Bloods defence under the pump. Worked wide. Good work there by Whelan. They'll get out of trouble now, South. Kicked wide towards the wing, out of side. Up goes Harvey. Couldn't take it. Made the spoil low. Waited for the troops to come and they did. Kick inside forward, 50 for South. They got some numbers. Good hand pass. Devaney, he's got it. Little kick inside. Tried to centre it up. Didn't come off. Tiger defence get over in numbers now and they'll get out of trouble. Hand pass wide, taken by Huntley under the pump, wants support, gets it, goes over there in the direction of
Hamish Govan.
Hamish Govan, who kicks to the wing on the outer side. Gee, he's made a mess of it though. Chance for the Bloods. Working hard over there was Charlton Hindle, but the umpires picked out a free kick.
Yeah, he's gone deliberate against Hindle.
Deliberate out of bounds?
Yes.
You're kidding. No, didn't know we had that rule.
Pretty deliberate, and we've, I think, have it since it was installed as a rule in the AFL rule book. Yes.
Well, anyway, the Tigers got it. The inside forward 50. They've turned it over and it comes. Nobody sends me an email tells me what the rules are. How would I know?
I think it's publicly
you read a
available.
book, didn't you? You read a rule book.
Miller down
didn't you
the
read
line,
a rule book?
over the line, out of bounds, and be thrown back into play. Of course, I've read the rule book.
Well, I've never read a rule book in 50 years of involvement.
That is a surprise. That's a big surprise.
If you read a rule book and you know what they are, how can you knock them? So why would you read one?
Thrown back into play on the outer side of the ground. Let's not go into it.
Are they going to bring one out with pictures? They bring one out with pictures.
Marnie goes inside forward 50. Waitman attacked it. Hindle was there for the Bloods. So too was Megan for the Tigers, who wraps him up and brings him to ground. Ball spills free. Right's there for South Bendigo. A Kyneton kick goes toward goal. It's taken by Miller. He's taken across the boundary line to be thrown back in the left forward pocket. Kyneton deep into attack.
Tigers with the breeze at their back in this third term. South will come home with it. 10.5 gone, third term. Tigers in front by 20 points. Throw in, forward pocket. Kyneton about 35 out from their goal. Bloods defence, work hard, kick it around the body, gets outside defensive 50. Tigers have set up a wall and Govan takes it. Hamish plays on, long, back towards goal, across the face and missed everything over the line, out of bounds. It'll be thrown back into play right next to the behind post.
It carried that far, that ball, even caught some of the players that were close to that play off guard, just kept carrying with the wind.
Yeah, it's picked up again in the breeze. It just lulled for a little while, for a few minutes. Just get us into a false sense of security. John was thinking of taking his jacket off there for a while, but that didn't eventuate.
That would have been a big call. Would have been a very big call. So right forward pocket, City end, Kyneton into attack. Ball's thrown back into play. It holds up in the breeze. Davey palms it down in the path of Scollard. O'Sullivan was there as well. Getting in there on hands and knees, doing really well was Nolder for the Bloods, who's been good today. Shovels it out into traffic. Wrapped up is Johnston, who's a long way down. And a ball up 45 out from the Tigers' goal.
Good work, Nolder. Worked very, very hard.
Been good in the contested situations this afternoon. Daniel Nolder, up they go. Davey fists it clear. Free kick coming to the Bloods for a bit of holding on in the ruck. And so Jake Miller takes it from centre-half back. Lovely kick and finds Leroy.
So, taken there out wide by Miller. He's got support. Bloods have got some run through the wing, out of side. Kick up towards Whelan at half forward. Can he get a good bounce? He can't. Tigers get it back. They go back down the wing on the outer side. That's a bad kick as well.
What about bounds on the falls on the other side there, isn't there?
All on that wing, yeah. I thought the wind would have brought it back in. Anyway, Bloods get it back from the free kick. They play on. Oh, they might have mucked it up. It's wide. Tigers have got it through Megan. He goes with a little give back. That's okay. Finds a teammate. They're back on the wing where they started. Out of side. Now they unload. Good kick, inside forward 50, Waitman on a lead. No, it was Scollard, thumped away from him, loose ball, crumbed by the Bloods. They go back outside defensive 50. It's all Tigers, and the mark will be taken by Govan. That's Josh Govan, the skipper. Hand pass was poor, turned it over. Chance for the Bloods. Long kick towards half forward. Good bounce needed. Chance down there. It might be, was that Brereton who got it? Worked it inside forward 50. Chance down there for Harvey.
Oh, dear.
Couldn't control it, almost. Gee, is that a lucky let-off for the Tigers?
Lucky.
They blew it. Are you going to say they blew it?
Yeah.
Bartels was involved with that. Magnificent.
Yeah, great work and great shepherd from Devaney too, who really...
Terrific build-up.
Yeah, chased the house down to shepherd Bartels and allow him to run into goal.
Well, the Tigers got out of jail because it probably should have been a Bloods goal. And they work it wide, and the mark is taken still inside defensive 50 by Harrison Huntley.
So he goes to Kelly. Tigers by 19 points after the Bloods behind at the 14-minute mark of the third term. Howe on the outer side between wing and half-back. Tries to hold it up. Comes back now for the Tigers through Megan. Oh, well done through the traffic there from Clark. Showed a clean pair of heels. In fact, Clancy it was who drives the footy inside forward 50 for the Tigers. Out the back is Nolder. He's dispossessed. Ball over the boundary line. Left forward pocket will be thrown back into play. So again, the sun creeps behind the clouds here at Kyneton. The temperature dips and probably the spectators look for maybe the car or the
I don't think the weather's been too bad this afternoon. It's probably varied between very, very cold and very, very, very cold.
If it wasn't such a breezy day, it'd be beautiful. Thumped back out of the ruck contest by Davey, looking for Scollard, couldn't run onto it. It's rushed, and it is one behind. 8.8.56 Kyneton, 5.6.36 South Bendigo, 15 gone, third term, thanks to Kangaroo Flat Storage on Bendigo's Fresh FM.
Importantly for the Bloods, only 2 goals kicked this term, both by Kyneton though.
So, ball brought back into play. Off hands, out of bounds, it'll be thrown back just outside forward 50 for the Tigers. What would you think, boys, is a margin the Tigers would want to be up at three-quarter time by?
4 or 5, maybe 5 plus.
Right, fair enough.
5 plus, I reckon they'd be pretty happy with.
They've still got a little bit of work to do. From the throw-in, taken by Josh Govan, kicks a high mongrel towards full forward. Yeah, finger breaker. Goes towards the boundary line, but the Bloods keep it in through Hindle. Goes across the ground. Don't know, but it might work out okay for them. Here they come. Out of defence. South with a little bit of dash. Couple of bounces to the wing. Who was that, Joel? How? It's an old Indian saying. Never mind. You can't get it. Kick towards half forward. Here's a chance down there for the Bloods. In towards Harvey on the lead, who's taken the mark.
He's just one of those likely types, cross half back, Hal. He carries the footy, he gains some meterage for his side, and he often doesn't waste his possessions as well.
3 bounces, probably took it 80 metres. It's a terrific effort.
It's a good build-up, this.
So, Brock Harvey, shot at goal. Probably got to kick it about 40 metres on a pretty tough angle with a mongrel wind. And he's kicked a minor score. So a let off again. The margin is back to 19 points.
Yeah, that's
Tigers in front.
2 real scoring opportunities in the last 5 minutes. South Bendigo should have taken, and they'd be right in this game.
Yep.
The problem is, Joel, they go in that last turn. They only kicked 5 at the moment, three-quarter time. They're going to have to kick, a double that to win the game in the final turn.
They'll almost have to kick their score again. So big ask. Here's Huntley, who plays on to himself from the defensive goal square, kicks it up the line. Miller got a fist to it for the Bloods at the fall. The contest was Safstrom to Clancy, just got his kick away to half forward, sitting under it. Oh, it's nearly reeling in the mark there. Was Nick Brazil, couldn't quite. Ball comes to ground, Nolder's in there, it's locked up at right half forward and a ball up. It was a good effort. In fact, it was Scollard who...
He's strong in that contest.
Yeah, no wonder. It was a really, really good effort. Bloods sitting a man behind play in front of Waitman too. Clearing kick from Clancy. There is that man. It was through the hands of Hindle. Outside, inside the defensive 50 for South Bendigo. They battle away. Marnie's in there. He throws himself on top of the footy. Paul Hutchison crosses the arm, says, boys, I'll have it. And we'll have a ball up 30 out from the Kyneton goal.
Tigers have only kicked, in 17 and a half minutes with the wind, have only kicked 2 goals.
Bloods defence been pretty good.
Yep. Problem is the Bloods haven't kicked any.
They've had the same amount of scoring shots, though, 3 apiece.
Yep. Work towards goal for the Tigers and through for a minor score.
No longer.
And both sides have kicked goals against the breeze so far. So you'd think the Bloods would want at least 1 this quarter. So Tigers bring it back into play. The Bloods bring it back into play. Worked short, and Sheehan takes it, still in the back pocket.
So Sheehan, here the long sleeves and blue boots, comes down the line to Rogerson, who again has worked hard. Having a good season for the Bloods is Mitch Rogerson. The boy from South Mildura comes down the line, high kick. Davey gets there, thumps it to ground level. Bartels won't be able to keep it in. Oh, momentary he thought he was as the ball spun on its point and trying to rotate back inside the field of play. Goes out of bounds, throw in.
In this game, Jock, South kicked 1 against the breeze and Kyneton 2.
Thoughts of Wallace Teasdale on Bendigo's Fresh FM. Joel Peterson and Jock Clark alongside he and Glenn Gordon back in the studio. Connaughton takes it and gives some territory before kicking back, attacking for South Bendigo. Well done, Brereton. Past 1, past 2, past 3. Got back on the right boot. Across the ground he kicks. Govan sits under it. Hocking got there, brought it to ground. Handball back to Hindle. Hindle handballs out wide for Whelan, who slipped over at the critical moment. The opposite number 4 in Megan did well. well. And then the 220s collide, and it was Brereton, the better of Hindenburg, brings him to ground. And a free kick at half forward for South Bendigo. Brereton's got it. Oh, his kick inside was shocking. It's cut off by number 1 for Kyneton. Josh Govan, the skipper, drives it up towards half forward for Scollard. Scollard's got Waitman leading to the left forward pocket. O'Sullivan shorter than that. He takes the long option. He loads up and goes bang! Mitch Scollard rocks back and thumps it home. And it's a big goal for the Tigers. Their margin out to a game high 26. 9-9-63 the Tigers. 5-7-37 South. 20 gone in the third term. That is thanks to Aussie Disposals.
Did guarantee you that a goal would come from the square today.
Yes.
There it was.
There it was.
They were kicking them in the warm-ups. He was one of the players that was doing that in the warm-ups, so I think he was pretty confident. Waitman did lead up for him, but he decided to go back. Waitman was going to the goal square. I sailed over his head straight through.
Well, you
so
can
they kicked 3 this term, Kyneton.
You can get away with a little mistake within, so long as you're about 40 or 50 out normally, but today, if you make a little blue inside 70, it can really cost you. And that time it did.
End, yes.
Ball up, centre of the ground, pack develops, umpire comes in, and when ball it up again.
So Kyneton have kicked 3 unanswered goals in this term, or we've crossed 20 minutes in the third term.
Ball up still in the centre of the ground. Work wide. Chance for Huntley. Can he get through the traffic for the Tigers? He can. Kick short to half forward. Intercepted by the Bloods defence. Have they got the numbers? Bloods player caught with a footy. Caught and pinged.
Trouble, Will Robertson.
And a free kick to the Tigers. 50 out.
Oh, Joel laughed at that, but he doesn't know what that means.
Warning, Will Robinson. No, was it danger, Will Robinson?
Danger.
I know a robot said it, I just can't remember what it's from.
So a free kick
Lost
and a shot
space.
at goal.
That's it. Here's Brazil, and he can kick the journey.
For the Tigers. 51 metres out. It's an absolute dart.
Call it, Joel.
And the Tigers get another one. Fintan.
4 unanswered, Joel.
Yep.
In this term to the Tigers.
And 2 in a couple of minutes, and suddenly it gets difficult.
South on 5, heading into three-quarter time. Would need, they're going to kick 5 to 8 goals to win the game in the last quarter. Hard ask.
32
Tied
points, game high margin.
Well, they're still alive, the Bloods, but you would really think they'd want one this quarter.
Yep. And Kyneton, if they get another, then it's real.
They've had the opportunities this term, South.
Yep.
3 goals are probably missed that they should have got.
So 10-9 plays 5-7. The Tigers up by 32 points, 22 gone. Or turnover here again. Kyneton come forward through Govan, top of the square. Numbers everywhere. Fall the footy. Scollard went past it. Waitman was there. Waitman off the ground. Into play. Back. Kicks it off the ground. He kicked it into the goal umpire. It went straight through Waitman's third. And that is 3 in 3 minutes for the Tigers. And all of a sudden, South Bendigo are in some real bother. 11-9-75, Kyneton. 5-7-37, the Bloods. 22 and a half gone. Third term, that's on the time on clock, thanks to Tintercar.
Yeah, a bit of a double play by Waitman to get that goal there, but he did well. He's been quiet since the first term. He enjoyed that. Scollard, last goal, by the way, he turned to the Tigers fans and gave them the big, come on, let's
double
go.
fist pump.
Just little mistakes, though, by the Bloods the last couple of minutes as you get tireder and the thinking perhaps process not as clear. The Bloods, free kick from the centre of the ground. They go inside forward 50. There's all plenty of Tiger defenders back there, and they'll get out of trouble. It's worked wide through Hamish Govan.
He's been
goes to the
quarter.
wing on the outer side, turned it over. Bloods, have they got a chance here? Oh, Tiger player took it, was collared, lost it. Umpire said nothing for it. Still on the forward side of the centre for the Bloods. Now there's a whistle. And now South Bendigo will earn a free kick. They waste no time. Play on. Short. In towards full forward. Marks taken. It's Leroy Miller with the footy. 45 out directly in front. And boys, the breeze has dropped again just momentarily.
Leroy's a good long kick.
Yeah, I like the way he kicks the footy. Back him in.
Well,
it's important.
Gee, do they need this?
Most times.
So Miller for the Bloods from 49 metres. Goes for home, won't make the distance. Hasn't got the accuracy either. In fact, it is just out of bounds to be thrown back into play. Maybe the best result for the Bloods. Right next to the behind post. Closing on three-quarter time. It's the Tigers by 28 points, but the Bloods a chance. Can they snag one before the last break? It's 40 metres out from goal. Tiger defence works hard. Hand pass went nowhere. Worked wide. Thrown onto the boot. Chance down there by Torpy. He couldn't find it. Picked off the ground by Megan and follows up. Gets the football, clears defensive 50. Megan for the Tigers, goes wide to the outer side. Wakeman on a long lead, takes the footy, dances around his opponent, then goes inboard to Chambers. He takes the mark. Long way out from goal. Chambers plays on, pops it up towards half forward. No one could take the mark. Torpy back, takes it for the Bloods, wants support, gets it. South come back to the wing, grandstand side. Knorton takes it, turns, goes into the centre. Chance for South to set something up. Worked inboard to Miller. Miller goes wide. Can he find a target? He can. Bloods mark 40 out on an angle, taken by Hocking.
They've had 5 goals kicked against them this term. They've had opportunities to kick 3 themselves. We're not talking about missed shots, but really goals that should have been goals. This is important.
So Hocking will probably have to kick it 48 metres on a reasonable angle with a tricky breeze. Comes in, gives it his best across the face. Won't make anything, and it's knocked through for a minor score by the Tigers' defence. So the Bloods go to 5-8-38, trailing the Tigers 11-9-75. 25 and a half gone, third term, thanks to Kangaroo Flat Storage.
Ball brought back into play to the outer side. It's Marnie in front of the scoreboard who's got it for the Tigers. Chips short for his skipper in Govan, who runs on at half back. Kicks the centre wing on the outer side. Over the head of Clancy, out the back though, cleverly tapped down by Brazil. Let Clancy run onto the football, but the Bloods had the numbers. Code, handball to Devaney, who kicks a wobbly one to half forward. Too easy for McCarthy to cut off, and again they launch the counter-attack, the Tigers. They've been lethal this afternoon doing just this. Nolder works Scollard under the footy. Waitman with the one-handed pickup, went to ground, got around them. A terrific tackle though from Rogerson. Brought him down just in the nick of time. And Mitch Rogerson takes the free kick from on defensive 50. Comes to Sheehan. He kicks the centre wing toward Miller. Couldn't take it. Govan's there for the Tigers. That's Hamish Govan to McCarthy, who's escorted across the line by Whelan and a ball in centre wing.
Good work, Rogerson, by the Bloods. Waitman had it cocked, loaded. Didn't get a chance to deliver, Joel.
Yep. Danced around about 3 of them,
Rogerson
Waitman,
put the silencer on.
So there's the throw in. Across half forward for the Tigers. Bloods working hard in defence. They don't want this margin to blow out anymore before three-quarter time. It's worked out to Chambers, though. Got it to Davey. Davey unloads from outside forward 50. Across the front, Wakeman caught behind. In fact, went for a spoiling punch. Bloods with numbers. Can they clear wide to the outer side? They can. Howe's after it. Can he get it? Gets it on defensive 50. Wants support. Went with a hand pass. Didn't quite make his teammate. Put him under the pump. Boundary line saves the day, over and out of bounds for a throw-in. Half forward for Kyndon, outer side of the ground, 60 from home. And we have played 27 and a half minutes into third term. The Tigers are 11-9-75. The Bloods 5-8-38.
Again, an entry for the Tigers. Govan, high left foot kick inside the forward 50. Well roved by Wright, who comes across his goal face for Rogerson. Been brilliant today, Rogerson. Inside defensive 50 for Kyneton.
So have the catering department at the Kyneton Football Club.
Working in overdrive.
Had our own barista today.
They are working absolutely in overdrive.
Don't worry about that.
I've got them in the best players to three-quarter time.
Devaney inside defensive 50. He's going to come down the line. Good kick finds Rogerson again, who's worked forward here for South Bendigo. 28 gone in this term. Kyneton by 37 points now. Miller at the back edge of the centre square. It's a 1-point game down at Gisborne. It is 8:52, plays 51, 22 gone, third term. G. Devaney just got the kick away there for the Bloods. Howe's handball was taken by Davey, who gets through the traffic from 55, vacant goal square. How does it bounce? Wrong side. Waitman sees it across the behind line. 11-10-76 Kyneton. It's now double the score of South Bendigo. 5-8-38 the Bloods. 28 and a half gone. Third term. That is thanks to Aussie Disposals on Bendigo's Fresh FM.
It's a long quarter.
Yep.
Just thought I'd throw that in there.
Kick out
okay.
Goals.
What have they kicked?
5.
And the Bloods
probably just about the length of.
Haven't kicked any.
Yeah.
Just getting good value from our sponsor, Tintercar.
Yep. On the time on clock.
His sponsor. I haven't got one. You didn't get me one for time on. Bloods with the ball on the wing, out of side. High. Kick to half forward. Over the top. Torpy, big fly. Couldn't bring the mark down. Bloods, have they got one more chance before the last quarter? Tiger player took it. He went to ground. That was Clark. Turned over. Chance for the Bloods. Kicked high towards forward 50. Bouncing ball. Chambers is back for the Tigers. Takes it. Gets some support. Now through McCarthy. Goes to the wing on the outer side. Good work, Kyneton. They've got a mark. They kick it inboard towards the middle of the ground. Down there, Maxie O'Sullivan. Got plenty of support. Goes long. Gee, found Wakeman too, but there's the siren. 3/4 time at the showgrounds, and it's the home side. They are, well, commandingly in front at this stage.
But to me, Kyneton looked just winning the one-on-one battles in that quarter. We'll see what happens in the final.
Bloods look a bit low on petrol to me. Ball up, centre of the ground. Dead heat in the ruck. No advantage. Take out important. The Bloods get it. Up inside, forward 50. Bouncing ball. Code comes out. Attacks it. Takes it. Then he's brought to ground. Megan comes in and crumbs it well. Gets it to O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan from half back for the Tigers. Good kick. Up towards half forward. Got it to Clark. Clark hands off to Mangan. Mangan goes with a short kick. That's okay. Tigers mark. Just inside forward 50. It was Clancy who's gone into the pocket and found a teammate, and the mark has taken over there by Billy Marnie. So good work, Tigers, from defence, and Marnie's going to have a shot. I think from memory, he kicked the first goal of the game.
Yep.
And now he's lining up. Well, it won't be the last goal of the game, I wouldn't have thought, but he's lining up for another. So he'll have to kick it from about 45 metres on a bit of an angle, and he's put it up high. Won't make the distance off hands and through for a minor score. Tigers to 11-11, 77. The Bloods are 5-8, 38. 1 minute gone. Final term, thanks to Aussie Disposals.
Bartels, in fact, Miller thumps it outside the defensive 50. Good mark taken there by Hindle, who had a good third quarter. Goes to Howe likewise, and here's Connaughton just between wing and half back for the Bloods on the outer side. Comes into the centre of the ground. Poor kick though, turned over, and Kevin Clark's got it for the Tigers. So Clark now is held up. Chipped short to Mahoney, who just got there. Marked over his head as Connaughton came in and applied pressure upon him. Now he chips dangerously into the centre of the ground. Govan just got there before Code. Just inside the centre square on the outer edge, but right in the middle of the Kyneton Showgrounds. Handball off to Safstrom. A running Jake Safstrom kicks a helicopter inside the 50, and Schollard's marked it. Running back toward goal. Has judged it perfectly. 40 metres out. He will go back on a slight angle to the right. Kick for his fourth.
Yeah, interesting pass. It didn't quite turn like a drop punt. You're right, it was more like a helicopter spin. Kevin Clark's had a solid game today as well for the Tigers.
Yep.
Done all right, cousin Kev.
He's a good player. Key member of this defensive group that they've brought in this season. Schollard from 45 metres out. It is online. It is through for a goal. And you sense that that might just do it for the Tigers. 12-11-83 they go to. Schollard has 4. South Bendigo 5-8-38. 3 gone last term thanks to Kangaroo Flat Storage on Bendigo's Fresh FM, Wallace Teasdale.
Kyneton have kicked 6 unanswered goals in the third term. Now that crosses into the final term.
Does, I don't look at these things a lot. Does percentage come into it at all? Like, would the Bloods need to just be careful this doesn't blow away?
Yeah, I'll look at the percentage in a moment against Sandhurst.
Possibly not, because there's half a game between them anyway.
Tigers again inside forward 50. Chopped off by a good mark in defence, the Bloods. Wobble it out towards the wing. Grandstand side, good mark, Torpy. South have got the footy. Oh, he's kicked into O'Sullivan on the mark. Now he's got to go back and get it. Torpy, O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan wins it. Goes wide, gives it to Govan. Govan goes into the pocket for the Tigers. Player on the lead, Wakeman. Just won't get there. Almost.
Oh, that's stiff.
Was it?
Yeah, it just bounced off Wright's legs. As Wakeman actually kept it in. He thought it was out and it bounced off Wright's legs and went out of bounds on the full.
So a free kick, Wakeman to take it. He's lining up for a shot. He'll start outside the boundary line. 45-metre kick. It's blown across the face and through for a minor score. Even the great Benny Waitman couldn't steer that one through. Tigers to 12-12. Bloods are 5-8. 4 minutes gone. Final term, thanks to Aussie Disposals.
So the ball will be brought back into play by Isaiah Miller. He just has to go and fetch it from among the leaves.
So the majority of the final term, we're just underway though, only played just about 5. It's been in the Kyneton forward line.
Yep. South just look a little bit tired. Oh. Gee, that's not a tired kick from Miller. That's an outright barrel up the outer side wing. Whelan's going to run onto it. Now has to get around, try and find a teammate. He does in Brereton, who ducks and weaves and evades and comes back by hand to Whelan, who's between wing and half-back. He tumbled one down the line, but it was cut off by Huntley for the Tigers. Handball to Josh Govan, who goes galloping through the centre of the ground. A horrible kick inside the forward 50. It bounces all the way and tumbles in front of Waitman. Right there with him. Did well, Brad Wright. The Tigers have strength in numbers, though. Worked out to Clark, to Hamish Govan, into the pocket. Scollard, no. Nolder couldn't handle it. Eventually, Howe was there for the Bloods, though. Got it around the corner to Whelan. High right foot kick up the line. Safstrom went with courage. Couldn't reel it in as he got 2 hands to it. And the ball trickles out of play. 70 metres out from goal at right half forward for the Tigers.
That was good courage by Safstrom, too. You mentioned it. He had to arch his back and anything could have come from that.
They're
kept his eye on the football.
Pressing once more to ram this advantage home. But he's currently 46 points, the 5.5 minute mark of the last.
Throw in beat everybody with the ball blowing away. Tigers take it though. They go towards forward 50 contest. Who can get it? 55 from Kyneton's goal. You would suggest one more goal from the Tigers.
I think it was
all over Red Rover.
I think it's that now, Jock. Romsey brought in the Mercy rule. Could we have it here this afternoon?
I don't think that's in yet, but
is that right?
Well, we could suggest it.
What's those stickers you got on your jacket there?
No idea. It came from the St Kilda op shop, this jacket. I wasn't knocking any stickers. It cost me $8, and it's that warm and heavy you can hardly carry it.
I think you're overcharged.
Ball worked towards the centre of the ground. Came with some needles in the pocket. Don't worry about that. Centre of the ground. Shouldn't have said that. Kicked out wide. Torpy's marked on the wing for centre.
They were knitting, Jock.
I tell you one good thing on a cold day about the last quarter is you're not as cold all over because there's a lot of your parts you can't feel. They've gone numb. Kicked inside forward. Pocket for the Bloods. An opportunity down there, comes off hands and through for a minor score.
That would have been the case for you for a while.
Just feet and hands I was talking about, that's all. So minor score for the Bloods. They go to 5-9-39. Tigers are 12-12, 84-7 gone final term. As that cloud came back. That cloud that's been not far away all day.
It's been lurking.
It's gone between Kyneton and Trentham. Now it's back.
It's a real lurker kind of a cloud, and taking full effect at the moment. Huntley thumps it down the line. Getting a free kick to the Bloods in that contest at will. Code was held by Davey as McCarthy took the mark in front of him, so Pat McCarthy can maybe instead of glaring at the umpire, glare at Dan Davey.
Mike Lowther would be quite nervous down at Gisborne.
I'd say so. Only a point in that one between the two Bulldogs. Richard Jones providing us with updates. Code kicks a helicopter inside forward 50. Saw it work at the other end. Thought I might try it myself. Handball from Sheehan to Johnston to Bartels. High right foot snap. Won't come back. Left it out to the right. And it goes through for one behind. 5-10-40 in fact, South Bendigo. 12-12-84 Kyneton. 8 gone in the last term. Tigers with a decisive lead thanks to Aussie Disposals.
Kick out short and okay. And the Tigers have got a mark in the back pocket. Another short. Might be mucked up over the top. Chance for the Bloods. Player took it and lost it in a tackle. 40 out from the Bloods goals. If they could get one here, maybe, just maybe. But the Tiger defence has been pretty good. Kicked off the ground and now picked up and kicked into a South player. Who took it? Who goes back towards goal? Across the body, and they've put one through. Long awaited, much needed goal to the Bloods. And you never know. Margin back to 38 points. And 8.5 minutes gone, final term.
Hard to believe, Jock, but it's their first goal in the second half of this game, South Bendigo. We played 8 in the final term, as you mentioned. So, yeah, gives them some life. They do have the win. The thing so far with the Tigers...
Was it Blair Wheeler?
I think so.
Well, I think the Tigers have had a good spread of players today. When I'm looking at their better players, it's really been a good team performance.
Yep, they have plenty of contenders for the Best On Ground award. McIver. Ball is walked back in. And yeah, it's going to be a South free kick out of the middle. Hocking goes inside forward 50. And here is Whelan, who's on the end of it. 45 metres out, directly in front.
Just makes it interesting if he gets back-to-back, Joel.
Yes.
If South get back-to-back.
Yep, Mitch Rogerson kicked the last. We thought it might have been Blair Whelan, thanks to Julian Lake. And this is Blair Whelan.
Ahead of our time.
45 metres out.
Mitch Rogerson wear different numbers.
I hope you didn't erase the goal, Jock, because Blair Whelan's gone back from directly in front and added another for South Bendigo. So after they didn't kick one in a quarter and a half, the Bloods have got 2 in a minute, and the margin's back to 32 points. Kyneton 84, South Bendigo 52. 10 minutes gone in the last term, thanks to Aussie Disposals on Bendigo's Fresh
They've
FM.
been quite effective with their centre clearances all day, South Bendigo, and these 2 goals, well, certainly that goal there was on the back of another good centre clearance by the Bloods.
It has been that one big advantage that they've had, isn't it? That their ability in the middle of the ground around the stoppages.
See the big play, the big boy just go past Strawny, but wrong side of the fence, unfortunately, for the Bloods.
Another clearance to the Bloods.
And it's a high kick inside forward 50. Who can crumb it? Bloods a chance. Ball went to the ground. Tiger defence stand up. They wobble it outside defensive 50. Getting it back, though, is Hocking for the Bloods. Goes for home and puts it the wrong side of the stick. And through for a minor score. Bloods get another one now. They might even start to get a bit of belief, do you reckon?
Yeah. Well, it certainly made Kyneton nervous.
So the kick out is okay. Into the back pocket, and the mark's taken by Nicholas Brazil for Kyneton.
As much how your opposition play in that situation as how you do as well, Wallace. So maybe it comes into play. Down the line, Brazil. Long high ball. Getting there was Miller to thump it away from Harris. And the throw-in will ensue just forward of centre for South Bendigo on the grandstand side. Solid crowd in here at Kyneton this afternoon.
Good crowd.
31
Plenty
points
in the social rooms for Ladies' Day.
The margin, absolutely, with some of the food in there. I don't blame them. O'Sullivan through the contest.
Wish I was in there.
He goes to ground. Now Rogerson spun around in the tackle. Govan goes in on hands and knees. Gee, Mitch Hocking just threw a boot at him then. Probably a little bit fortunate to get away with that. Miller goes in. Great tackle from Isaiah Miller on O'Sullivan. Not happy about not getting the decision either. Now Nick Brazil goes in on Rogerson. And a ball up still in front of the grandstand just forward of centre wing for South.
Bloods are just building here. They've found a bit of spirit in this on the back of those couple of goals. Back-to-back goals are kicked in this term.
12 gone last term, margin 31 for the Tigers.
So ball up across half forward for South. They've got the breeze in the last term. O'Sullivan takes it for the Tigers. Got it to a teammate. Hurried kick. Up towards the wing, grandstand side. Coate takes it for the Bloods. Good hands, got it to right. Right hand pass, centre of the ground. South back inside forward 50. Can they get a grab? They can't. Torpy can crumb it. No. Megan is with him, locks him up in a tackle, and the umpire balled it up 40 metres out from the South goal.
For absolute momentary throw on the boot, Bartell's got great purchase on that kick, didn't he?
He's got it to lazy 60 metres. Ball up inside forward 50 for South. There's plenty of people in there chasing a possession. Squirts out in the direction of Hocking. Can he pick it up? He can't. Well, he can. No, it didn't go out of bounds. Tigers win it back. Now they've got an opportunity as they come down the wing on the grandstand side, but Coate wins it again. Big fella straightens up, goes across the ground and finds a teammate who marks 50 out directly in front.
Good vision by Coate.
Yep, it was a good kick.
Didn't panic.
Right on Devaney's limit.
The best option.
Doesn't want to shoot at all.
Obviously not confident. Goes with a little pass. Might be okay. Mark's paid.
It's kickable now.
Yep. Big Leroy's got the leg.
So Leroy Miller still got to kick it from 50. Directly in front. And this, gee, you'd reckon this would get them up and about, the Bloods.
Absolutely.
So Leroy Miller has kicked 2 so far this afternoon. Lining up, kicks from 51 metres. It's close, just wide and through for a minor score. Had the legs, not quite the accuracy. So it is the Bloods that go to 7-12-54. Kyneton 12-12, 84. 30-point margin.
Kicking.
14 minutes gone in the last two.
5 straight kicks. Miller's going to get another chance. Kicking went straight down his throat. Wallace Teasdale.
Yes, I wouldn't give this player another opportunity.
No. He's kicked 2 goals, 2 and 1 out on the full today, Leroy.
He would have learnt from his one a minute ago.
I would say so.
Just slightly more to the left.
On the runway is Leroy Miller. He gets a chance at a reprieve and he makes good with the chance. And there's life in the Bloods. Margin 24 points, 8-12. Plays 12-12. 14 and a half gone last quarter. That is thanks to Kangaroo Flat Storage, Wallace Teasdale.
He's that sort of player you wouldn't want to give him too many opportunities. He had sprayed a couple, but that was deliberate, straight through umpire liked it. 3 goals. Kyneton kicked the first of this term. We played 14 final term. Southwood answered after not kicking a goal in the second half to kick 3.
Important 5 or 6 minutes coming up. Ball up, centre of the ground, take out Important, and it's won by Govan for the Tigers. Goes inside forward 50. No one can get there to take mark at the drop zone. Worked wide. Blood's a chance. Kicked away by Howe. Howe's got it now. Worked towards the centre of the ground to Rogerson. Rogerson goes laterally to the wing. Put Howe under the pump. Can he get around a couple of Tiger players? Got to go a long way back. Now he does. Turns, straightens, passes okay. South in possession on the wing outer side. Popped up another good pass. South mark. Kicking a little bit from goal. The Bloods.
Norton doesn't waste many possessions.
In he comes. Oh, stumped it. 65 metres to the goal square off hands and across the face of goal and out of bounds for a throw-in.
He sets them up well across half-back. Code's just been important the last 5 minutes. There's some little touches important across half-back for the Bloods. So
throw-in deep in the forward pocket for South. Where there's life, there's hope.
Watch Liam Bartels at this stoppage.
Up they go. Hit to the front. Well, big thump forward by Leroy Miller. And it's eventually forced through for another minor score from the Bloods. They go to 8-13-61. Tigers at 12-12, 84. 16 gone final term. So, thanks to Aussie Disposals.
Within 4 goals now, South Bendigo. 23 points. Govan's kick out is poor, holds up in the breeze massively, and Rogerson's got it at left half forward, 52 metres out. Be a very, very big kick from there for Mitch Rogerson, who, as we know, has already kicked one in this quarter.
He's quite confident.
Going back with a deliberate approach to bring it back to 17 points from the paint of the 50. Rogerson unloads. It's a long kick. It's a straight kick. Mitch Rogerson. That's a terrific kick that's hit the inside of the post.
A point.
Just looked like
What's the goal umpire doing?
The goal umpire was going for the sense of theatre, absolutely.
He was very excited.
22 points of the margin. We're excited. The goal umpire's excited. The South supporters are excited. Why wouldn't they be as they come back inside the 50?
Big kick up towards a marking contest, front of the square. Tigers, good mark. Taking it down there for them might have been Kelly, was it?
Huntley.
Harrison Huntley goes wide, finds a teammate. Out of side, work to Megan. The old 1-2. Now the Tigers out of trouble. High kick to the wing, out of side. Up goes Scollard, well out from the forward line. He couldn't take the mark. Bloods with numbers in defence. Can they clear it? They might be able to. A hand pass is okay. South win it back. Scramble it up towards half forward. Bouncing ball. Beat about 10 players. Now they've got it. Just outside forward 50. Shot at goal. Up towards Torpy. Couldn't take it. Bundled off the football. Bouncing ball through for a minor score.
Got plenty of opportunities.
Peppering the goals, the Bloods. They have kicked 3 goals, 7 so far in this last quarter. Gee, Tigers clear, good kick, and Megan marks just on defensive 50.
Margin 21 after the behind, 18 gone here in this final term. Now the Tigers are just going to try and take the air out of the football, and it's probably not a bad move, Wallace, with South having all the ascendancy at the moment.
Time's a real factor when you hit the 18-minute mark.
So Govan got it, comes back. That was Hamish to Josh. Inside defensive 50 to O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan now goes to Chambers, and this is where they can start to press and attack here, the Tigers. Lovely kick from Chambers, out wide to Hinneberg. Hinneberg inside the 50, Waitman over the back. Wright was there, Codes there in defence for the Bloods. Handball through traffic was good to Wright, who goes outside the defensive 50, and a nice kick to left half-back finds Nick Howe. He comes back inboard and finds Miller.
Miller goes in towards... Oh, Connaughton set him up over the top. Thought he might have copped one high. Umpire said play on. Tigers with numbers. They win it at ground level through O'Sullivan. He goes back, finds a teammate. Davey kicks wide to the wing. Out of side. Tigers can mount something here. It's kicked inboard towards Magan. And Mangan shot in front and took the mark for the Tigers. Too far out to score. Mangan's got it. Half forward, out of side. Takes his time, then goes backward. Now another little pass. So the Tigers just work it around the outer side. Now they go inside forward 50. Over the top, Miller in defence for the Bloods. Goes back towards half-back outer side. Why wasn't that a free kick? Play on the call. It's right on forward 50 for the Tigers. Player to take it down there was Safstrom. He's tackled to the ground and the umpire ball it up. Thought that might have been an unrealistic attempt at a mark just a few minutes ago. Never mind. I'm not out there. And I haven't even read the book.
No.
That you said.
You don't even own the book.
No.
Ball goes inside forward 50 for the Tigers. Bodies crash in. Top of the goal square. Good tackle. Ooh. Footy locked up and a ball up. 21 points the margin as we tick into time on, thanks to Tindakar in this final term. Deep inside, attacking 50 among the leaves as it darkens here at the showgrounds. Kyneton in attack and searching for the clinching goal. Right through the traffic. Well done to Miller, who spirals a high ball outside the defensive 50. It's a towering kick that Sheehan can't mark, had it knocked away from him. Safstrom went in. Marnie was good through the traffic to Kelly, and now back to Finton Brazil. At left half forward, he runs on and delivers to the forward pocket. Code with hands to it. Couldn't take the mark. The Bloods will come out through Hindle. Good short kick. Finds Devaney at half-back. Handball back to Hindle. Taking it on. Long, flat, floating ball up the line is chopped off by Kelly, who can settle in defence for the Tigers.
Yep. In trying to push things quickly, the Bloods, as they have to, they just gave away a bit of accuracy and turned it over. The Tigers with the footy at half-back. Player with it's Hinneberg, and he'll take his time. Goes backwards, gives some ground. Oh, went to a teammate, kicked it over his head, bouncing ball. It's gone over the line and out of bounds. It'll favour the Bloods. It'll be thrown back in just on forward 50. Out of side.
Fresh live update. It is Golden Square by 2 kicks, 65-53 over Gisborne. So 2-goal margin late at Gardner Reserve the way of the visitors.
Meanwhile, the national debt has been exposed and it's on the line down at Camp Reserve, Castlemaine. Don't worry about that. Meanwhile, the Bloods have got it back at the ranch. They've got it on the wing, out of side. High kick towards half forward. Marking contest. Well done inside. Good mark taken by Liam Bartels. He could kick that, couldn't he?
Absolutely.
50.
He could put this just about over that house's back fence.
So Bartels will line up for the Bloods. He'll have to kick it from about 50, 51, on a bit of an angle. And he comes, lines up across the face and through for a minor score. Another one to the Bloods. That's 8 goals, 16-64. Tigers are 12-12-84, 22 gone final term, thanks to Kangaroo Flat Storage.
Well, result aside, they fought back hard here, the Bloods, and certainly can take something out of this while being 2 men down. Mangan, terrific mark on the outer side at half-back for Kyneton. Stood up strong, second grab, reeled it in. So it's not all negative for them here, Wallace,
no,
if they do go down.
3 goals to Kyneton's 1 in this final term.
Kept running and kept attacking. That's what you like to see. Govan drives it up towards Scollard between wing and half forward. Tigers with numbers. Clancy bustles his way through. Got through the traffic. Handball to Davey. Back to Hamish Govan. Little kick around the corner was good. Found Scollard. 80 metres out from goal. 2 kicks from home. He comes short as well to Safstrom. Safstrom 65 metres out from goal in front of the scoreboard. It reads Kyneton up by 20 points at the 23.5-minute mark of the final term. And now they can again take the air out of the football. try and take the speed out of the game. Govan has got it, and he chips it back to Safstrom, who's now 85 metres out from goal for the Tigers. Aside.
He's happy to chew down the time at this stage. The Tigers now, they go forward over the back. Good mark. Kyneton marks. Scholar, is that Schollard?
Yes.
Who's got it just outside forward 50. Waitman the target in front, hands to it. Right, thumps it towards the line. Bloods have got numbers though, and they can get out of the danger zone here as they do. From defensive 50, kick down the wing, out of side. Punched over the back of the pack, where the big fellow down there takes it. That's Mangan. He runs and kicks it back inside forward 50 mark to the Tigers. Might be Clancy.
Yeah, good grab.
Good pack mark. He's played well, Clancy, today. I've had a lot of good players in and around the footy.
So Clancy, well, he's lining up to have a shot. He's got to kick it from probably about 52. What a tough angle. 10 in from the boundary, right in front of the scoreboard. Clancy for the Tigers. Stop, start, now goes. Kicks it high. Wind holds it up. Waitman goes up. Almost a specky. Couldn't bring it to ground. 5 out from the Tigers' goal. Plenty of numbers around. Blood's defence works hard, and it's pushed over the line and out of bounds to be thrown back into play. About 20 metres around from the behind post. 12-12-84 Kyneton. 8-16-64 the Bloods. 20-point ball game. 25 minutes gone, final term.
It's been a valiant effort, but ultimately it will fall short for South Bendigo. Nick Brazil goes through the traffic, had it ripped off him, and a ball up. 40 metres out from the Tigers' goal. So Kyneton will string another one, be their 5th win in a row. Luke West running in the Bendigo Advertiser. That would be the first time since 1999 that they have strung that many wins together. So it'll be a win to savour for Kyneton, and it will be, Jock, a win over a side above them for the first time in season 2017.
Yep, and they'll go up to, what, 4th spot?
We'll go up to 4th. They'll replace South Bendigo and Eaglehawk and Sandhurst. The result everyone's keeping their eyes on. Meanwhile, South work it across the goal face. It's picked up by Finton Brazil, who's shot towards goal, took a devilish bounce as far as the South Bendigo defence was concerned, came piked straight back left, but didn't go through, only through for one behind as Isaiah Miller thumps it outside defensive 50 to his brother, and the Bloods are away.
Kick long towards full forward, poor kick over the back, favoured the Tiger defender, and marcus taken by Kelly. He goes long and what? Tigers will get out of trouble towards half-back, out of side. Thumped over the line and out of bounds for a throw-in.
Prince had a song called 1999, Joel.
He's not going to bring out much more new stuff, they tell me.
Possibly not.
So the ball to be thrown back into play. Half forward for South, out of side of the ground. Final siren imminent here at the showgrounds. Bloods a chance. Couldn't get away with the football. Plenty around the contest. Howe goes in, takes it. He's tackled. Has to get rid of it. Got out a hand pass. Wanted a teammate down here who couldn't take it. Eventually the Tigers win it back. All the way up to half forward. Inside forward 50. Taken by Schollard. 40 out. Gets around the South defender. Goes for home and kicks. Well, I'm not sure that's the nail in the coffin. I think they already had that. But Schollard kicks another one for the Tigers. That's 5 for Mitch Schollard this afternoon. And that takes the Tigers to 13-13-91. South Bendigo 8-16-64. 27 gone, final term. Thanks to Choices Flooring, Bendigo Bulk Carpets.
Cotton have kicked 4 goals against the win today. It's probably been the winning margin after that. So those 4 goals have held them in good stead on a day. It's been awkward with a strong win favouring City End.
You can only do what you can do, and injuries I know are a part of football, but I wonder, had Big Strawn not gone down with that injury before half-time, you just wonder. He was giving them such great drive out of the centre, and also was doing good work around the ground.
Yep, work in the middle has been good regardless, but certainly could have been a little bit more effective and efficient. Nonetheless, the Tigers are going to come away with this one. Lovely kick. It came from Miller to Devaney. His kick to Torpy was dropped, bounced off his chest. And now they come across the defensive goal face, the Tigers, as they attempt to clear the defensive lines. Govan with another clever kick to Hinneberg, to Welds, Taylor Kelly, who takes possession of the football as the siren sounds. And Kyneton have won 5 games in a row to move ahead of South Bendigo on the table into 4th spot. by 27 points, the final margin the way of the Tigers. 13-13-91. South Bendigo 8-16-64. The Tigers by 27 points, the final results. And certainly for them, an important win. It continues there as they pave their way towards a third consecutive finals campaign. And for South Bendigo, it makes next weekend's showdown against Sandhurst at the Queen Elizabeth Oval all that more important, Jock.
They had a fair crack this afternoon, the Bloods, there's no doubt about that. But at the end of the day, they just, to me, ran out of key players. A key ruckman, maybe a key forward. They just had plenty of goers, but too many foot soldiers, maybe, and not enough chiefs to guide them over the line. And, well, the Tigers got to be happy with that.
Yep.
Kept the opponents a side above them on the ladder to just 8 goals, kicked 13 themselves in tough conditions, and more importantly, move up the ladder a spot and win 5 in a row.
Yeah, absolutely. Richard Jones telling us that Golden Square are going to beat Gisborne as well. So that will be a good result there. And Eagle Hawk at last score update led over Sandhurst by